to another episode of The Panel. And y'all know we got a full house today. We got Chill, we got Penn, we got Mars. And is that Damo? Is that the draft expert himself? Is that the man, the myth, the legend? Is that post work? Is that Audie Crooks, the YouTube channel where he's putting people in the post and scoring on them at will, anywhere and everywhere, no matter the topic, no matter the situation? Damo, good to see you, brother.
I love the introduction. Thank you. Shout out Derek Queen, forever and always.
Hey, man, shout out Derek Queen, 30-point triple-double versus a certain defensive center. All I know is that had that been somebody, Damo, there would have been a low-light tip going on all over Twitter, but, whatever. Shout out to my dog, Derek Queen. Also, he's continuing to hoop and ball. He might be Rookie of the Year, Damo. I would love for you to spread that agenda as we get through the show. But y'all know what time it is, y'all. Make sure, before we get started, you see that little subscribe button that you got right at the bottom? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're on the way to 150,000 plus subscribers on Players Choice on the panel, and y'all already know what time it is. We got a lot of great stuff to get into. So now, I don't know if y'all got a chance to watch the game yesterday. Denver Nuggets obviously took on the Sacramento Kings. Now, wasn't like a crazy game or nothing like that. The Sacramento Kings, when they didn't have Sabonis, they did not have Zach LaVine, but as you remember, the last time the Nuggets played them, Jokic had 20 points in the fourth quarter, had 44 points in that game, and they still lost. And then in the previous two games, they won. But yesterday, Nikola Jokic had 36 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists and 2 steals on 14 to 16 from the field in 3 quarters. And Chill, the Nuggets are 18-6. Okay, just for context, they're 18-6. They're on pace to win 62 games this year, which would be a record for the organization by 5+ games. So, Damo, Penn, Mars, Chill, as you have watched the Denver Nuggets play so far this year, do you believe that this team, they should be title favorites? If not, you just outright think they might be better than OKC when it matters to most?
No. Also, did you say 3 quarters?
Yeah.
Shout out to SGA. That's dope. Good.
Yep.
Good for you,
shout out to SGA. Unrelated to the topic, but shout out to SGA for sure. Glaze.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll be the first one to start. Hell no, I don't got them as title favorites. Title contenders, no. Coming out the West, I don't got them getting through the Thunder. Now, they are a great team. They are definitely way better than I expected them to be. And if anything, I'll do it. Shout out Aaron Gordon, a guy that, I'm not going to lie, for me this season, really turned it on. Keeping up with the same pace of efficiency he's always had, just a higher volume, higher production. I'm loving what I'm seeing from these guys. Definitely exceeded my expectations, but if you're not better than the Thunder, I can't say you're a title favorite.
I just think that we're looking at something different in the playoffs than we are the regular season. I think that in terms of preparing for teams in the regular season is way different than being able to prepare for a whole week for a specific team like the Denver Nuggets. And I think that they're a real problem for Oklahoma City. I think that their interior offense with Joker, I think that that's the biggest issue for them, especially considering Denver has already shored up all the issues that they had last year. If you look at how much better Tim Hardaway has been playing this year, I think that that's been really good for them. Cam Johnson has actually joined the party. Miles and I have actually had this conversation. We were wondering when he was actually going to join the party, but he actually has joined the party. Jamal Murray wasn't great last night, but I thought that he kept the defense on their heels. I mean, Joker only missed 2 shots, right? And I think that playing off of Joker, really helped not just his game, but Tim Hardaway Jr.'s game. I think it helped a lot of these guys. And I think that if they were to get, I actually have them beating Oklahoma City in a 7-game series. I feel like with this group, I feel like all the issues that they had last year of being so reliant on Joker to do everything, I think that I feel like that's been rectified. And a lot of those guys, I feel like what they've done up until this point, once they get Aaron Gordon back in the fold, because he's been out of the lineup for, I think, the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's been out of the lineup with that groin injury. And once they get him back in the fold, I think this is going to be a team that's really going to contend in the Western Conference. I think that they're the biggest threat to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, man. So as everybody knows, I think I told y'all before the season started, I think if you look at the way the Nuggets are constructed at this point, I do think they're going to win the title this year. Granted, health. I think last year for me was an example that if they just have a competent team around Jokic and Murray, I think they can beat anybody. But I also think where Aaron Gordon, y'all, to your point, has taken this crazy step this year where I think at this point, people are kind of forgetting just how Aaron Gordon was when he started the season off this year, just because of the injuries and kind of how that's taken the wind out of his sail. But he's averaging 19 and 6 this year, but he's shooting 53% from the field, 44% from three, and 87% from the free throw line. And he's also been obviously maybe their best defender this year as well. So I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I think the thing, Damo, that kind of takes it over the top for me this year is that if Jamal Murray was just simply having another Jamal Murray season, I kind of maybe would be understanding of that a little bit. But the thing is, Jamal Murray has been incredible this year, and he's been one of the best scoring guards and playmaking guards in the league this year. He's shooting 50, 44, 90 splits on the season so far, basically.
Yep.
On crazy volume, and he's honestly, bro, if you look at the defenders he played against too, man, he's really he tore up Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Dyson Daniels the other day. He's gone at Andrew Nembhard. He destroyed Andrew Nembhard in the Patriots game. I mean, he really has at this point, I think, leveled up to where no matter who's in front of him, a lot of the reason he might miss shots is simply because, he's going to miss shots. But I think something about him, he has gotten to a point where he is playing extremely confident. He's healthy as well. And I think that's one of the difference
when you get to the playoffs, Swiper, when you get to the playoffs, the thing that helps you out the most, one, is health. I think that being healthy is the biggest thing. I think that's derailed a lot of teams. So if the Denver Nuggets can stay healthy, I'm thinking about the divide between Denver and Oklahoma City at this point. This is what I'm thinking about, Penn. I'm thinking about the divide between them two. Okay, guard play. I feel like Oklahoma City's guards on defense, I feel like they've been great. I don't think that they've been good. I feel like they've been nothing short of fantastic, right? I think Casey Wallace is going to be an all-league defender this year. I feel like Lou Dort is still playing at that level in terms of being an all-league defender. I think they're great at shooting gaps. I think they're great in terms of connectivity. But my counter to that, to my own point, is Denver playing off of Joker in the multitude of ways that they play off of him, with the multitude of lineups that they play off of him with them. I think that can cause Oklahoma City a lot of trouble. Now, when you're talking about the playoffs and then you get into the meat and potatoes of the game, Miles and I have had this conversation. It does more times than not boil down to my best player is better than your best player. Close games. And as of right now, it looks like SGA is looking like one of the best, if not the best closer in the game. But if I'm getting into a playoff series with SGA and Joker and we get into the meat and potatoes of the game, I'm not betting against Joker. I'm not.
So can I ask? So you have the Denver Nuggets as the only team that is a real threat to the Thunder. So no one else.
I like Houston too, Damo. I like Houston too. I think Houston's going to get him some trouble. I think San Antonio can get him some trouble too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Those are the two teams that I'm.
When we're looking at the Western Conference previews, I actually had the Denver Nuggets beating the OKC Thunder in the preseason. Last year, I had the OKC Thunder going all the way. This year, I thought there's no repeat champions. It's really hard. 82 games. They're going to burn out. I have seen a team that has come out with intensity like they lost. And I cannot deny what I'm watching. SGA's jump has been tremendous. He's a better passer. He's a better shooter. I think whatever gap there was between him and Jokic last year, I think he's closed that gap. I think we can have a discussion of who the best player in the world is right now. And that's not something I was expecting to say. Quite frankly, even when I was heaping glaze on SGA a year ago, I didn't think I would be having this conversation. So that being said, Shea's playing with better teams. He's playing with a better team, and he's close to as good a player. And this is a hungrier team. And I think the Denver Nuggets have been a little bit disappointing. Now, I don't want to hold their 18th ranked defense. Sorry, what did I say? Did that trigger
keep going?
you?
Keep going.
They're having their best. They're literally having. By the way, just for context, this is the best start they've had in the history of their franchise
ever. Never started 18.
They've never started this well in Damo. This is in the 80s with English in the Western Conference run versus the Lakers. This is with the Melo years. They've never started the season.
You know what I'm about to ask you? Strength of schedule. How difficult has their start of the season been? Because if you tell me they're beating bums, then I'm not going to care.
Well, no, the reason why it matters though is because that conversation is about. So when you look at the strength of schedule across the board for all the teams that are good, OKC has the easiest strength of schedule in the league, so it's a minus 2.4. Denver has the second easiest, it's a minus 1.6. Minnesota second easiest, minus 1.6. New York the fourth easiest, minus 1.5. And then you got Detroit. So Detroit 19-5, Knicks 17-7, Minnesota 15-9, Denver 18-6, OKC 24-1. And mind you, Damo, remember the teams that Denver's lost to this year. Denver has only lost to teams that are worse than them. Like they have multiple losses to below 500 teams. So some of this is like when they play good teams, they're beating them. But then when they play these bad teams, for whatever reason, they don't show up. By the way, they play Houston twice in the next 3 games, and they play the Magic.
Who are these good teams that Denver has beat?
For the record, Mars, the 2008-2009 Denver Nuggets, they started 18-6.
So they beat. Okay, let's just recap this real quick. They beat Phoenix, second game of the season. They beat Minnesota. They beat New Orleans. That's a terrible team. They beat Sacramento, terrible team. They beat Miami. That's a pretty good team. They beat Golden State. That's a pretty good team. Indiana's a bad team. Sacramento's a bad team. Los Angeles Clippers are a bad team. Then they beat the Minnesota Timberwolves again. Then they beat the New Orleans Pelicans. Then they beat the Houston Rockets. Again, that's a good team. Memphis, bad. Phoenix, good. And then the last 4 games have been against Atlanta, Indiana, Charlotte, Sacramento. 3 of those teams are bad. So, like, what are we doing?
Can I ask the 6 losses also? Who are the 6
the
losses?
6 losses were incredible because, Damo, I'm glad you asked that because, honestly, this is why I'm off the Nuggets train. And I understand, Swipe, that's very difficult for you to understand right now because I understand y'all are missing Aaron Gordon, and he's huge for your defense. With Aaron Gordon,
and
y'all are really good defense.
Yeah,
Christian Brown, 2 really good defenders in your starting lineup are missing. And I understand you're integrating Cam Johnson, and he didn't look right away. And I understand you're implementing Jonas Valanciunas and a whole bunch of bench pieces. So I think that this will look a lot better in a couple months. And in a couple months, I'll change my mind if it looks better.
Who have they lost to?
They lost to the Chicago Bulls on the second night of a back-to-back. It was probably the biggest upset of the season. I don't even think that's hyperbole. That is
they lost
literally
to the Kings on the second night of a back-to-back too. So,
Swiper, this isn't the best start in the history of your franchise, neither, by the way. Because the 84-85 Nuggets, they only lost 5 games through 23 games. And in the 78 team that went to the Western Conference Championship, they started 18-6 too.
Damn, Chill, you schooling him on Nuggets history?
Thank you for fact checking. Thank you. I love the fact check.
That's a good fact check. Good fact check. Yeah, I was not aware of the 83 team, whatever it was.
Yes,
just lazy.
It was before Swiper was alive, so it doesn't count.
True. So that's fair.
I understand though, but here's the thing. Again, I think what happens is Joker gives you such an advantage, just having Joker on your team, and the idea that you can beat anybody. I mean, I feel like it gets enhanced just off the strength that you have Joker. But Penn, you were making a point about you were making a point before you got.
I think the health thing concerns me. Jamal Murray has been very healthy to start this season. Now, I believe you are what you consistently practice, and Jamal Murray typically eases into seasons. To borrow the Kawhi Leonard, soliloquy that Mars went on last year about, starting the season kind of midway through so that you're peaking at the playoffs.
Yep.
I wonder if Jamal Murray is going to break down at some point because, again, he is obviously playing a lot more and playing, consistently. And I'm just curious, is this
so basically you're saying injuries will be the thing that bring them down?
But Penn, can we agree that this is probably since the championship run, or even in the bubble, this is the healthiest that Jamal Murray has been?
He looks great, Joe.
Yeah, I think this is awesome. I think this is the healthiest that he's been, and that's why I'm such a big fan of what's going on in Denver right now.
It's the best Aaron Gordon's looked in his entire career, to be clear. And I was looking at like how he became a better shooter. It's a very interesting exploration in speed shooting that he was talking about on a podcast with Cam Johnson. It was like he just does everything like at 180% speed right now, and that's what's made him a better shooter. It's awesome. This is the best he's looked. It's the best Murray's looked. It's probably the best Jokic has looked, if I'm being honest. Like this is the best their 3 best players have looked, and I don't know. It's weird. I want to say in any other year, this is a championship favorite. I just think what I'm seeing with OKC is different. I think it's a different level.
Mars, can I ask you, just based off what you've seen with Jokic and his, playoff performances since winning a championship, how do you feel about the glaze that he's getting and the faith that everyone has in him to still be a title favorite?
I think it's funny he's viewed as impenetrable when Alex Caruso. I don't know what's I feel like it's kind of cool that it's Game 7 situation. Oh yeah, Jokic. It's like, yeah, I just watched the Timberwolves beat Jokic. I just watched the Thunder beat Jokic. But he's like the boogeyman or something. I don't know. But it's cool, I guess. Shout out to him for having all this faith from people.
Is it him, Mars, more than it is? Is it him?
It's him.
What
You
this
see
is what
the
I'm
thumbnail?
saying.
It says Jokic, the title favorite. And it was like that was like Jokic on the thumbnail.
What I was thinking is it Joker more than it is? Because I can't forget what happened against Minnesota in Game 7. I can't forget that. Right. I think that has a lot to do with what's going on. But because it's Joker, is it more? If he can get this much more, he's in business, as opposed to what he's got right now, where we are. This is probably the best team that he's been on since they won the championship. Is that fair?
Is this better than the team?
I think this team is better, to be honest with you.
It is, but the field is better too. But the field is better too.
How much of the field, though, Penn? Like when we talk about the field, like how much of the field is better when you think about the field? Like because
they don't give out participation, Larry Obese. They don't give out second place and third place.
That's a fact. I'm not gonna argue that. Sure.
You know what? When KD went to the Warriors, that's 3 years. Peace. Good luck. Right. When LeBron went to the Heat, that's 4 years. This OKC team, this San Antonio team coming up, you better win a championship right now because you ain't winning one for the next 10 years. So, shout outs to Anthony Edwards. They're going to build some really, really competitive teams out there, in the West. There's some young teams that I'm excited about, but y'all going to have to wait your turn. There is a 72, 73 win team. Do you realize at this point the OKC Thunder finishing with 70 wins would be a disappointment? You understand, like,
I do realize that,
the mind.
Well, because they're 24-1, so they would have to take
a disappointed a team with 70 games.
I'm about to say who's disappointed though.
Yeah, they win 70 games.
Considering what the expectations were, Damo, you look at this group right now.
The expectations
for the number one season wrapped up by January. Like everything else is.
I'm about to say they haven't been healthy, Damo.
That's absolutely fine, but
that's another reason why 70 wins wouldn't be disappointed.
And no one's expectations going into the season was break the Warriors record. No one's expectations was 80 wins, 75 wins. That was not the expectation. It was just be dominant, and they're being dominant.
Yo, speak for yourself. I wanted 82 wins. Okay.
Well, what is
anything less than 82?
Well, Damo, what does be dominant mean? I mean, we're coming off an NBA championship. We won 68 games last season. And there were people who thought that they could eclipse what they had done last year. I mean, this is a team that was rolling. They had, I think, the best net rating in NBA history. They had, in terms of defense,
a lot of people thought they were going to take a step back. Vegas had their over/under at 64.
But you know how Vegas works with that though. Like that's not even.
How does that work?
Yeah, so Vegas taking a 64-win team, so expecting regression from a 68-win profile. Typically, teams don't come back. Now, the Warriors the previous year before they won 73, I think it was 65 games they won. They won 65. Sure. That's the number it was.
67.
67. So then it was 73, and then it went back to 67 the next year. So they had 63 or 67. They had 73. They got Kevin Durant, in which they were a better basketball team, but then they took a step back and they won less games. So Vegas has to build in like buffers because if you set the line at 69, 90% of the money is going to get to, it's going to go under. So then there's just no way for them to win that. But if Vegas sets the line at 64 or whatever the number was, then you can get people playing on both ends of that and the over under. But then now you're building into also health. Remember, SGA he played 79 games last year, like prolific health from your best player. So some of that is like most players don't repeat 75 plus win, like or 75 plus game seasons. SGA's on track to do that currently right now, though.
Star players do.
Well, the thing is that SGA, like he trains in the off season to play 100 games a year. That's what he's talked about a lot. He's like, I train for the season I'm about to play. So a lot of dudes, they might train for like 82 games and then they get into the second round of the playoffs. They're like, shit, this is past what I trained for. Lucas talked about that before too. Anthony Edwards has talked about that too. A lot of dudes hit a wall in the playoffs because they just were not expecting to play high intensity basketball in May. But that's kind of where we're at right now with SGA. I think he has kind of come into this season with a goal that I'm going to be the best player in the world. And this is going to be the best team in the world. There was a chill. It was an eerie feeling. He was approaching a car by like one of those TMZ cameras. And they were just like, I want to let y'all know the OKC Thunder are here. We ain't going nowhere. Y'all get comfortable with it. Good luck.
They look like a group that's going to be around for a while. But Damo,
it gave me MJ in '91 vibes.
It's actually giving
it really did.
Hey, Penn, I do think you are setting up such a high bar that if he again doesn't meet that in the playoffs for yet another time, then it's going to be another nasty combo. In part
we do the same thing.
But you know what the thing is?
We do the same thing for Joker.
We don't do the same thing.
No,
I don't have to to his standard in the playoffs. He's still
the difference is, though, Mark, I personally don't know what Mars is talking about. I think there's multiple people, including the entirety of the chat, that is calling Jokic a Jokic or flame out or a bum.
Different platform to the consensus.
But even in the NBA, just to be clear, so if you go on NBA Twitter or whatever else, most people are anti-Jokic having this standing in the league. So I think this idea that there somehow isn't a crowd, there's an entire crowd of people in the chat right now. Every time you bring Jokic up, saying he's overrated, like literally just 90% of the people in the chat saying he's overrated, saying he is a choker in Game 7, without the context of because of you, without the context of Game 7. 2 years ago, 34-19-7. Nobody in the game except for him and Murray scored over 7 points in that game. If that was any other player historically, you would bring those things up because that matters. Like, you have to have people around you that play well. Or last year they had 3 healthy players versus OKC in Game 7. That did matter. That's a part of the context.
Right?
Do you think
him
like
and
Jokic
Jamal Murray had the worst game than anybody else in that game. But again, it's the way that things are talked about. So I do think it matters that this year, if they're healthy, I do think the energy will be different from the team overall. And I think the team is much better this year. And to the point is, if you look at where Jamal is, and I think Jonas Valanciunas, who we're not talking about at all for the season, he was 7-7 yesterday. He's having a really good season, like off the bench. And it matters. He's going to play in the OKC series because you need side to play against OKC. Like, he's a really good player. And I think them having more options now, and if you haven't checked, Peyton Watson, since he stepped into the starting lineup, is shooting 52% from the field, 42% from 3, 70% from the free throw line. He's playing super well. Cam Johnson's playing well. Like, they just have a different infrastructure.
Right, but it sounds to me,
you really think Jonas Valanciunas is playable?
Yeah, he's going to play.
Yes.
He's going to play.
I think he is going to get, to borrow the term,
he's going to play in the
West
playoffs.
Coast people.
I know, but Penn, I'm telling you,
he's going to get mollywopped.
I'm telling you,
based on
how you play versus OKC, you have to play big inside.
Yes,
he is going to play.
It was unplayable when he played in New Orleans when they played them in the playoffs. That happened.
Well, remember he had
the good old. You guys told me he'll Billy chat.
Too slow.
But
I did. I 100% said that, Moss. Yes, I did. Right.
Wasn't he good in the playing or something like that though?
Shea is never going to have easier shots in his life than Jokic in drop coverage.
Why would you play drop? Why would you play drop?
They're just going to run.
Sorry, I said Jokic. I meant Valanciunas.
It's the same thing, but they're just going to run that cute little zone. Keep that big net. They're not going to put. They're going to play drill. They're just going to run that little zone. Christian Brown go fight.
Mars, for real, is Jokic a better defender than Jonas Valanciunas?
Sure, but like, once again, even with Jokic,
it's good.
It's
good.
We
don't have to talk about Jokic's defense as much. We can talk about Jonas' defense now.
But Swiper, everything that you just said sounds to me like, okay, we set up to do it. There should be no excuses this season.
No, it's not. I don't think
none of that.
A football breakdown. This is what I mean. He's constantly glazing. So when I'm talking about, and also, by the way, I don't think y'all understand how bad it is. That's why when Mars says what he says, maybe I'd speak from my own perspective. When I do post-game videos, it's everywhere. Like, so there are plenty of people that are constantly on this Jokic train of how he is overrated. So I do think this idea that he's like protected is also ridiculous. And that's why I said what I said yesterday. I think at this point he's having an underrated season because I think people are so used to what he's doing, they're just kind of like, oh, it's whatever. Like, you
can't underrate what he's doing. Swipe.
No, but I'm saying like, it is.
People just troll you.
No, for sure. But it's not just
what I mean?
It's not just here though, Penn. Respectfully, it's not just.
No, I understand that, but your platform is pretty huge, and you put Jokic in Gretzky conversations, which pissed off a lot of people.
That's fine, but like, I think at some level
there was a census amongst NBA fans. 70% would say Jokic is the best player in the world.
Look, one of my biggest videos on my channel, because I don't have people hating on me for Jokic glaze. I have people hating on me for Scotty Barnes glaze. Right?
There's multiple people talking right now. What did you say? Mars was talking. You were talking. Go ahead.
I was just saying that like he's still seen as the best player in the world by the majority. That's what he's seen as. So, like, yeah, he's going to have people who downplay him, diminish him, whatever. Like, no one would have ever had unanimous approval ratings. If you go back to, like, even peak LeBron, I guarantee he would have probably had, like, 90% of the vote. But there would have been the Kevin Durant clan trying to say he's better than LeBron. 2016, it probably would have been, like, 70-30, with 30% saying Steph is better than LeBron. Like, no matter who you are, you're never going to get 100%
But
approval.
what more
But
criticism do
Jokic
you
is
think
a
he
very
deserves?
strong majority best player in the world.
But what more? But I'm saying, what more negativity would you like to be seen thrown his way other than what is thrown?
I'm not asking for more negativity.
Is
Well,
it
more
negativity,
criticism. I'm
Swiper,
saying more
or
criticism.
accountability?
I'm not even asking for more criticism.
Well, but
I'm
you just said that there's not enough
he's seen as the
criticism.
best player in the world.
But you said there's not enough criticism though.
No,
earlier.
I didn't. No, I
Oh,
didn't.
okay.
But
All
Swipe, like my point was that one of my most popular videos is actually a Jokic video on my channel. It has like, I think like 1.5 million views or something. The top comments are so freaking positive, man. There's a comment with like 9,000 likes. Like, I aspire to be the dad that Jokic is. Damn, real man. Being a father is the most important job.
So
Jokic
glazed.
is awesome. Jokic is different from 99% of players. He's my favorite player. Can't help but like Jokic. He puts basketball into perspective. I mean, let me see. Like, did someone say it was a spiritual experience?
What year did this video come out?
2 years ago.
What like when did that happen? Right after the title?
No. I mean, sorry. I did I undersell myself here? 3 million views. My bad. I undersold myself by a good 1.5 million. No, May 2023.
So right before they won the title.
Okay, but I'm seeing comments till today.
No, I know, but
So,
like it's a Jokic video for the best player. Like, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is you get a very different Jokic perspective because you cover Jokic as a Denver Nuggets super fan, and you come up here and you talk about Jokic.
This is what I'm saying. No, call me what I am. I work at NBA media. I cover the Denver Nuggets professionally, and I work in doing this space every day. I cover all 30 NBA teams, and I spend every practice. I cover every practice, every dribble, every game.
Like you don't talk about.
No, that is what it is, though. That's my.
I mean, I thought I did call you what you are.
No,
but
sure,
yes,
but that is my job. That's my. It is quite literally my. It is quite literally my job to talk about this team every single day. Like that's so.
Would you talk about this team if it wasn't your job? Would you do this if it wasn't your job?
No, because I wasn't even working in the media space. No, it wasn't even happening. Like I didn't.
How did you get the job then?
Well, it started because I wanted to do it. So then I created the platform to do it. That's what happened.
That was just to watch the Denver Nuggets every day.
Well, but then there was multiple reasons. There at the time in 2020, just to give you some backstory, Jordan, because I think I told you this offline before. December, this was when COVID was at its peak. There were not any black people covering the team for the most part at all, in any way, shape, or form. No former athletes. So I then said, let me take my 10 years of public speaking and go make a channel and then start covering the team to get more representation in 2020. And then it blew up. So it wasn't even like it intentionally it started to be that way. It just started that way.
So there was a time where you were doing this before it was your job, when it was just a hobby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
That would make you a super fan, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. That would make you would
qualify. I don't know what's
as
wrong with being a super fan.
There's nothing wrong with being a super fan.
I mean, it's just for me.
Damo is a super fan of the Lakers. Damo is a super fan.
I would say
they'll say he hate the team.
I'm about to say I feel like I'm a super fan of the NBA. Of the Lakers, I feel like I'm a fan. You know,
I'm clearly the biggest super fan up here. I have no bias and no teams, none at all. Despite
so
my
you're the biggest super fan.
Yeah.
by the way, we got a $50
there's
super
always
chat.
a bias.
Want to give a $50 super chat. This is from Uncle Dad. $50 super chat. Yo, Ron, you foul as hell for the title of the show. I cannot wait until OKC beats the Nuggets in 5 games. Why? Are you OKC fan?
Away to see.
Why are you gonna blame Ron for the title?
Because he did come up with the title.
Ron makes the titles. Ron makes the titles.
Ron came up with the title. Decided Swiper was going to be the host. Decided me, Jordan, and Damo were going to be up here, and it's probably sitting there somewhere laughing.
Well, it's probably retroactively. We talked about OKC yesterday, and then they talked about the Nuggets the next day.
Okay.
With the Swiper, with the personnel that Denver now has, right? With having Bruce Brown, with having Cam Johnson, with having Tim Hardaway, with having Valanciunas, how do you beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, in your estimation? What do you think?
You can't turn the ball over. I think that's probably the biggest thing. You turn the ball over, you lose.
Pray.
That's why we short up the guard. That's why we short up the guard spot.
Prayer is good.
Yeah, you have to. I think you have to not turn the ball over. I think a lot of this is like scoring efficiently, which is, the Nuggets went 6-5 versus them last year, like over the course of the whole season, and in the games that they beat them, they scored very well and they defended very well. But I think the problem is when you start getting the ball up on the other end and you start rushing shots, or let's say Jokic starts throwing turnover passes and Jamal by doing whatever, then you start giving them the leeway to go on those runs. Like you have to beat them in the half court. That's kind of how like the Nuggets at least beat OKC, is they beat them in the half court and you play efficiently and you don't turn the ball over. I think that would be the biggest thing.
And with that, with being able to take care of the basketball, and now having the shooters around you, having Cam Johnson around you, having Tim Hardaway Jr. around you, especially the relocators that they are, I think that now collapses the Oklahoma City defense, because I think that with Chet playing one-on-one, I think that they'll have Chet playing one-on-one for a time. I don't think that they're going to leave Chet one-on-one with Joker for the entirety of the game. I don't think that that's going to happen because I think that that's a bad plan.
Well, Chill, what do y'all mean when y'all say you can't turn the ball over on OKC? I think that's clearly a lot easier.
Let me answer that. Let me answer that question.
It's not their choice. I don't think they.
If you're gonna bank on that, I think you're gonna lose.
Okay, Jordan, if you're a coach, how do you do it? How do you game plan against Jokic with this current OKC
against Jokic?
Yeah, against the Denver Nuggets, like because he's got better personnel this year, right? So how do you, as a coach, what do you do? Like, what's your 3-point bullet plan to stop Jokic, Murray, and all these shooters and the depth that they got? If you're okay,
number one, you're not going to be able to stop Jokic. That's number one. But number two, you can't slow him down. You can't slow him down to a sense to where you got to adjust to game plans. Like, obviously, if he's scoring 30 straight, you probably need to send a double. Number two, you have to be very meticulous about what you do off the ball. Like, you got to have rules and principles. Like, we can't allow easy high-low actions for Jokic. So we know that the Nuggets like to run that low action where Jokic catch the ball at the top of the key. First thing he wants to see if he has a high-low action. We got to front that post. We got to add more ball pressure on Jokic. We can't let him pick you apart. Like, we have to make Jokic put his head down, and we got to either force him to drive, which is fine. Like, I know some people are like, well, he's a good passer out of driver. Sure. Force him to drive. Force him to put his head down.
Where do you want to see him catch the ball? You want to see him catch the ball like a little bit like above the nail, or are you allowing him to get deep seals?
I'm making every. I'm definitely not gonna allow him to get a deep seal, but I'm making every catch for Jokic extremely hard. Like, it's not about where I want him to catch it. It's how I want him to catch it. I want him to catch it under duress, and that's what the Thunder did to him last year. Like, they made every single time he caught the ball difficult for him. So by the time he caught it, now the shot clock is winding down. Now they got principles off the ball, and now some of those passes and those first options are slowly taken away because the shot clock's winding down. Now you got to deal with 8, 7, 6, 5, and then now Jokic.
But did they know, Jordan?
Late in the shot clock, huh?
Did they make it difficult on them? Like those games that I saw when Joker went 40, 15, 40, and 12.
They made it very difficult for him.
Did they make it difficult on him? Because it looked like it was a lot of one-on-one coverage.
Did you not see Alex Caruso? What?
That's what I'm talking about.
It just wasn't difficult for him.
A lot of that mid-post stuff that was going on, a lot of that mid-post stuff and that mid-range stuff that was going on with Joker, that stuff did not look nearly as difficult.
I think it was difficult. I don't think that's what
he had the ball in the box and he was getting swarmed. Those two things aren't the same thing. When he had the ball in the box and he was in 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, 3 dribbles, and he's getting swarmed, as opposed to when he was in the mid post and he was one-on-one because he got switched on with Alex Caruso. When he was at the nail, he was at the mid-range with Alex Caruso. That didn't look nearly as difficult.
But did you see how difficult it was for him to even get the ball to him?
I was just about to say that. Did you see how difficult it was for him to get position right there with Alex Caruso being the one guarding him off ball? You're talking about when he finally got the ball and it's 8 seconds on the shot clock because they've been wasting 14 to get him position because Alex is fighting him the entire possession. Multiple possessions.
I just thought it looked to me like it was more difficult when he was on the box, like whether he was on that right box or he was on that left box. When he was down there fighting with Alex Caruso, as opposed to when he's setting cross screens for Jamal Murray and then flashing to the basketball. Even with Alex.
Caruso,
but
when they double Jamal coming off those screens, then they rotate over. That pass become a lot more difficult than you think you do. And Jokic is a methodical player. Like, Jokic operates very good early in the shot clock. Like, if it's early in the shot clock, he picking you apart. Now when it's late in the shot clock, it's not a Jokic thing, it's more of a Denver team thing. Late in the shot clock, now those opportunities to do whatever strategy Denver has on offense kind of slows down a little bit because the shot clock is winding down. So now you kind of force Jokic to be a scorer late, and that's why I said you want to force him to drive. You want to make every catch difficult, and you want to force him to drive late so he don't get those easy pick you apart passes. Like, I mean, Jokic is a great player. You're not going to stop him, but you got to have something. You got to have a baseline on what you want to do. And I think the Thunder had a really good baseline on it last year. But, I mean, also it was health. It was a lot of – it come down to making missed shots. Like, when I was just talking about turnovers. Like, when we were talking about turnovers with the Thunder, like, well, you can't turn the ball over. Well, you're going to turn the ball over. That's number one. you're gonna turn the ball over. It just comes down to, can you make shots?
I think it's the live ball middle of the floor
bad
turnovers,
shots.
Jordan. It's like the throws over the middle of the floor, like that lead to easy run outs.
And you can't take bad shots. Like I was watching and that game was out of reach. Who they played the other night? They beat the crap out. Oh, the Suns. I watched to close the quarter, to close the half. OKC come down and take 2 great shots. They get exactly what they want. They get a post up from Chet, and then I think Casey Wallace. No, it wasn't Casey Wallace. Lou Dort hit a 3 or something like that. I can't remember. But it was 2 perfect shots. They got what they want. And then the Suns come down and jack 2 badass shots. Mind you, you're already down 22, 23. Mm-hmm. You jack 2 badass shots, you're down 30. Like what would make you think because I'm down a lot, I can take bad shots and they just gonna let you off the hook? That's a recipe for getting your ass.
No, I don't think anybody thinks that. But to your point, because you had asked the question earlier about how are we not going to turn the ball over, like so early in the shot clock. If we could get good looks against Oklahoma City, we got to take advantage of those. So if I could get Jamal Murray open, right? If I could get Jamal Murray open,
that might not be the right way.
If we're playing fast, I
don't know if you want to play fast against them, though.
I do. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to have to play fast because Oklahoma City is going to speed the game up. So I'm going to have to play fast. I'm not going to play fast the whole game. No, I'm not going to outrun them. Let's.
But that's why OKC struggles with Denver, though. I think it needs to be said
they slow it down.
They slow them down. They don't. Yeah. That's why they beat them more than anybody else. It's like they play a lot, but the reason it was like 6-5 last year is because when they make you play in the half court, Denver is very hard to beat. But that goes to my turnovers, Jordan. Like, it's just like if you're, doing this nonsense and then Jokic or Murray, they throw that behind the head pass. Yeah. It gets tipped. And the next thing you know, we got runouts from Dub and Caruso. You lose. But real quick, I want to make sure we pay some bills. Then we get to the second man. I don't know if y'all heard. Anthony Davis might be on the mucho. And I think there are some very interesting teams that can come up in this conversation. But y'all already know. Got to show love to Splash Sports, y'all. Y'all got to stop playing the house. Play other fans and still win, even if you miss a leg. Quick Picks on Splash is the new peer-to-peer DFS game where you pick more or less on at least 2 player projections. Your entry gets matched with other players at the same buy-in and pick count. And now here is why it's fire. Fair matchmaking. You're competing against people, not the house. More strategy. A diverse range of lines means you can find multiple ways to outsmart other players. You get better odds. You don't need a perfect card. Just have more correct picks than the group and you win cash. If multiple players tie for the top spot, they split the prize. New users can use code PLAYER and deposit match up to $50 and 100% boost on your first entry. Hit the link in the bio, build your quick fix, and let's see who really knows ball. Also, make sure that if you want in, you got to be 18 or older to play, 20 or older to play Massachusetts, Iowa, Arizona, Louisiana, 19 or older to play in Alabama and Virginia. Terms apply, paid partnership. Come run it with Players' Choice on Splash Sports and turn those picks into real cash prizes. By the way, y'all, side note, we're cooking. Jordan went 3 of 3 last weekend with the press box, Splash Sports. We're going to have some more that are coming out tomorrow as well. So make 4 if you want to continue to win you some money with Splash. Go ahead and tail. But also, got to give a shout out to the best of the best. Now, between busy schedules and summer plans, sometimes all I've got is a couple minutes. Factor helps me eat smarter with tasty, chef-prepped meals that are dietitian approved and delivered right to my door. And now, more than 65 weekly meals made for how I live and what I like to eat. I've got even more ways to fit in a real meal wherever the day takes me. Now you get more variety, more meals. You choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon or shrimp at no extra cost. Now, even if you enjoy more GLP-1 friendly meals and new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good for you fats, this is the place you want to be. For more choices to better nutrition, that's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter your routine. So eat smart at factormeals.com/playerschoice 50 off and use code PlayersChoice 50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code PlayersChoice 50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. All right, y'all. We are back. More Players' Choice.
Damn.
More Players' Choice. Hey, by the way, Jordan, I don't know about you, brother, but I'm still working out. Stairmaster cardio every day, eating good, lifting weights. I'm telling you, Dama, by the time you see me, bro, you finna be like, bro, Well, like he about to line up next to Dre Greenlaw.
What's in that cup right there, boy?
Oh, it's just some ice water. It's water.
Oh, okay.
It's ice water.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up the bottle of Ciroc. Oh, okay.
Nah, man. It's not even 12 o'clock, man. Nah, not yet, man.
Shit, tell Ron. Ron be doing that shit at 6 o'clock in the morning.
All right, y'all. So one thing we got to note is Damo, your former Laker, former great player, Anthony Davis. He has been in a lot of discussions as of late. And Anthony Davis is currently playing through the year as best as he can. So far this year, when you look at Anthony Davis's season, he has played in 10 games. He's averaging 19.6 points per game, 10.2 rebounds, 3.2 assists, shooting 52% from the field, 33% from 3 and 2 attempts a game. Love to see it. 69% from the free throw line. Can't make free throws. But because of a lot of the situations regarding Anthony Davis and the injuries and the failed trade from their once GM, Nico Harrison, and all the nonsense kind of surrounding the team with his firing, we're in a situation now where they're seemingly looking to move on to try to re-up some value for what they lost from Luka and see if they can get it back from Anthony Davis. Now, Damo, I would love for you to start here. When you think of AD and where he is in the league, one, do you think that they should trade him? And if so, are there some teams you're looking at and saying this would be a good option for him?
Well, one, they absolutely should trade him. They lied to him. They brought him there under false pretenses of, I probably said that wrong, but trying to get a competitive window out of this bottom feeder of a team based off of bad circumstances with health and injuries. It was really unlucky for him, but yeah, it's time to get him out of there. Blow it up. It's time to rebuild. Y'all know me. I am king blow it up a year early rather than a year late. I've always been that way. King blow it up. Blow it up. Yes, you heard me correctly. King blow it up.
Focus, Jordan. God damn. Y'all with this dude.
Anywho, I would say, in my opinion, and I'm not thinking about the betterment of the Mavericks when I say this. So when I say these trade destinations, I'm not considering what they're getting back. I don't care what they get back. I'm not trying to make things great for them. They have Cooper Flag. They have the Great White Hope. They're good. This is where AD needs to go. Teams that need Anthony Davis, and it'll be great for him. First up, Detroit Pistons. Second, I would say the Atlanta Hawks. And third, his hometown Chicago Bulls. All three are the teams and destinations I think he should go to.
Why not the Rockets? But anyways, I'll say this though. I think we kind of jumping the gun a little bit. They missing a guy. Y'all know they didn't lie to him. They missing a guy. He know who the guy he's missing. They missing their fantastic guy, Kyrie Irving. Like, do you know how good Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and Anthony Davis will look out there on the floor? You know how good that'll look? Plus, I mean, shit, I go Nembhard. Shit, I go Nembhard now. Nembhard be killing. But with Clay, too? Come on, man. I think y'all need to slow down.
Who's the lineup again?
Clay is washed through.
He ain't gonna be washed next to
Luka back.
I'm about to say, what's the lineup?
He ain't gonna be washed.
Can you say it again?
I said Kyrie, AD, Cooper Flag, Clay, and I'm going Nembhard.
Gotcha. That's what it was.
Yeah. Cooper is Luka. Yeah.
No, Cooper ain't Luka, but I'm saying, like, we got to slow down a little bit. Like, we got to see what we like Kyrie. No, we ain't that either. But like, we got to see Kyrie play. Like, come on, man. Like we got to see Kyrie play a little bit before we just decide to trade.
Like torn ACL, Kyrie Irving coming back from injury.
I mean, that's fine, but we got to at least see it. Like, how you just gonna trade Anthony Davis without seeing him and Kyrie play? Like,
you just gonna trade Luka Doncic when you were just in the finals?
I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, but after you did that nonsense, now you got to come back. Now you got to come back and you gonna trade before your plan even starts.
The minute you see it, everyone else sees it too. You lose a lot of leverage if it doesn't go well. That's why you. I agree.
No.
Listen,
what leverage?
What is OKC known for in their team build philosophy? Doing it a year early, not a year too late. They got off Russell Westbrook.
I don't know.
Year early, not year too late.
Well, they were known for that. I'm just not.
I mean, the Russell Westbrook
absolutely
like
they're known for that.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I didn't know. I'm just not tapped in.
I didn't realize that was their tactics.
I don't think so either.
But you got to explain it. They got
the Nuclean Patriots. I know that.
I'm about to say I knew that's what the Patriots.
Russell Westbrook, Paul George. Like right before these guys started to go the other way.
I think Paul George
Paul George told them he was staying and then he left. That's
Right.
exactly what happened.
They traded him.
No.
Yeah, because he wanted to be
They
traded.
didn't trade him
wanted to be
because
gone.
a year too early. He said, "Good brother, I'm leaving." That's what he said.
Also, Russ had two more years before he kind of
You
took a
understand?
turn.
Paul George took an extension, right? They didn't have to trade him.
No,
They chose to
Yeah,
trade
he
him because
wanted
his
to be
cur-
traded.
Yeah, I
'Cause
understand.
He wanted to go to
that.
Los Angeles.
Yeah. Okay. When Paul George was made available in a trade, it was largely because Kawhi had the Clippers by the balls and basically told them, go get this guy at whatever cost. They didn't want to trade
Right.
Paul George. But when that offer came in, they said, okay, he ain't going to exceed this offer. So they sold. They sold high.
No,
But
I
that
think
wouldn't be
when
them
that offer
being-
came
Yeah,
in,
that's
Paul
not-
George told them
they were
do it.
fully under a Jordan, and you can attest to this because you remember they were in March.
Yeah, because I was there. No, I was actually there, but it's
The
okay.
birthday party, was it a birthday party with Russ that
Yeah,
they
it was
said
at
like,
Russ's
well,
birthday
They were
party.
at an event, yeah.
yeah, I'm staying. We locked in, twin. Like, you know, we here. It was like me and Damo. Like we had a long-term partnership. Nobody's gonna separate us. And then 2 weeks later, hey bro,
I'm out here.
you best send me out. Because I will not be playing here anymore. That's exactly
You know what?
happened.
I'm gonna tell you the truth though, because you know, Paul George is my cousin now, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the truth.
My cousin too, bro. Shout out.
You know, no, he really is my cousin. I don't know about you, Swiper, but I will say this: in the summer, y'all remember that summer? It was talks about is Paul George going to the Lakers? Is Paul George going to the Rockets? Is Paul George going here? Clippers wasn't in here at all. It was the Lakers, I think the Rockets, and maybe one other team. And
This is the summer of 19. Is that correct?
Yeah,
It's the
and
summer of
obviously,
19. Summer of
yes.
19.
That was the talk. And then to Swiper's point, the event happened at with Russell Westbrook, and then he was saying, he was staying or whatever the case it may be. And then 12 o'clock comes at night during the summer league. Boom. Kawhi Leonard talks of coming to LA. Mind you, I was in LA the whole time when the Clippers was kind of courting Jimmy Butler. They were courting Kawhi Leonard. They were doing all kind of stuff, making some noise, right? Kawhi gets the win that, this is what they can do. Team wasn't good enough. Go get Paul George. They get Paul on the phone, tell him the plan. Paul George immediately says, I'm in. He didn't give a shit about what the Thunder was in or out on. He didn't give a shit. That was solely based on
what part of this is hard to understand? Paul George was coming off a season where he finished top 3 in MVP voting. It is arguably his best season ever.
Right.
Okay. When they came to the Thunder and said, we want Paul George, the Thunder said, go kick rocks. We're not trading him.
And then they asked Paul George.
It doesn't matter what Paul George wants. He's not a free agent.
Paul George got what he wanted, though.
He wasn't a
exactly
free
what he
agent.
wanted.
He had a contract.
Yeah,
But
but
he asked
Paul
that.
George,
That's why you had to add Shea and all those picks.
When Giannis gets traded, are we saying because the Bucks got off him a year early?
Giannis ain't getting traded.
Okay.
If
If
I
is
think-
not.
if
so
the
if they didn't
Bucks-
want to trade him, so Payne, if they didn't want to trade him, why did they trade him?
because the OKC Thunder are not stupid and they see the value being offered in the trade. Jordan, your favorite
Or
player
'cause
is
Paul George
okay.
told him
Who's
he
your
wants to play
favorite
for
young
another
player?
team.
Yo, you're a Houston Rockets fan, right? You're a Houston
I'm an
Rockets
NBA
fan.
fan.
Okay,
NBA
cool.
fan, but sure.
I mean,
Nice hat.
Yeah, I'm about to say something. Nice hat.
Got a lot of hats.
okay,
No
sure.
big deal.
My point is, if at some point a team had come to you with the James Harden trade in 2018, right when he
The
was about
Rockets didn't want to trade him.
correct. But if a team had offered you Giannis Antetokounmpo and 6 first-round picks, or if at that time they had offered you, I don't know, whatever the next version of a star coming up was, and 6 first-round picks and good players coming back, you might have had to take that deal. At that point, you would be exiting
First
early
team all
off
NBA
his
player
prime.
in
You know,
first
yeah,
round.
you know,
I feel like
Giannis
this-
was, you
but
know,
I feel
Giannis
like-
was like.
I feel like this-
a top
I feel
player
like
in the
this-
league,
You
right?
can't say
But I feel like
sentences on
Penn
here
with,
without
with,
getting
with
pressed.
this,
That's
with,
cool.
with what you're saying, and Penn, I
You gotta be
first team
accountable for what you say, though. Like if you say
no
something,
doubt about
but
that.
what I
right
said
there,
was
Well, you
true.
can't say the philosophy was get
Well-
off players 1 year early. Use Paul George as the example when he asked to leave.
and
And
then
then
the
on top
second
of that,
example was Russell Westbrook.
getting
When
off
Russell
of
Westbrook
him
And then
is
had
part
part
of
saying,
his-
saying OKC actually
Bro,
didn't want to get off
Okay,
Paul George.
what
which means
part
that
of
their
this?
whole philosophy
Okay, I
of 1
feel
year
like
early actually wasn't
am I
true.
speaking a different
That's what I'm
language? Am I
saying.
speaking Mandarin or something?
I
They
could
didn't
understand
have
what
to
you're
I
saying.
speak
trade
some
him.
Mandarin, you know.
Yo, they didn't have to trade him.
Yeah.
They did not
Here's the
have to
diff-
trade him.
But they did.
no, they.
Yeah, and
here's
by
the
your own
difference, though.
admission, they
What?
didn't want to.
But here's the difference though, Penn. The difference is that what you're telling us is in hindsight, like this was a great deal, This wasn't a great deal at the time. Like we ain't know Shea was going to turn into this.
Bro,
we
they
didn't
got
know that.
they
was a
got
great
Shea.
deal
They
at
got
the
Shea.
time,
We didn't
I
know
knew
that.
Shea was turning
They got
No,
Shea,
Joe, hold up.
Gallinari, 5 first-round picks. So this is 21, 22, 24,
man.
26 unprotected, plus for
Sure.
Miami's 2023 and 2 pick swaps in 23 and 25.
Sure.
That they
Because
got
the Clippers
7
thought that they were
picks.
going to be awesome.
And then they had
Joe.
to trade Russell Westbrook
Joe,
after that.
Lawrence Frank had
Sure.
such a difficult time selling this deal to ownership. He went to ownership, Steve Ballmer, and he said, "Listen, this is the offer we pitched them. They told us to kick rocks. This was our counter offer. They told us to go fly a kite.
Kick
Then
rocks
we
again.
upped it to this level where we are willing to offer this. We were trying to keep Shea out of the deal, but we're going to offer Shea as well." And Steve Ballmer said, "Whew, that's steep." And he said, "Don't think of it as this for Paul George. Think of this as this is for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard." So basically, the OKC Thunder exited high on a stock that they expected to perform well for the next couple of years, but did
Which
not
it did.
expect to, but did not expect for that price to be available again. That's called exiting a stock high. Okay, when you
So
exit
high,
a
right.
stock
Yeah, you
higher
stole-
than
you
the
sold
market
high.
value, you sell before it crashes. So they
Right.
got out when the value was still high, as
But I
opposed
also-
to riding
what
it
that
out.
has to do with their
Riding it
philosophy,
out.
though, that you
Listen,
said, though?
Paul
That don't
George's
have nothing to
value
do
was
with their
not going to be
philosophy.
higher the next year. I'm sorry. He was exiting the absolute peak years of his career. He was
Sure.
coming off an absolute incredible year. The
He was
Thunder were
28.
okay.
He's still in
When
his
do
prime.
players typically peak?
Yeah.
Swipe
around
up.
that
28.
time. Around that time. Between
26 to
27 and
28 is around
I was
when
thinking
players peak.
27 to
Yes.
29. That's what I was thinking. 27 to 29.
Yeah, but what
around
if he
that
would
time.
have played as good as that for like 3 or 4 more years?
You're still not going to get the value of 200% overpay. That's what the Clippers did. They 200% overpaid for what they were getting because they thought they can
Not
get
really.
Kawhi Leonard.
Not really. You
Okay.
saying that?
I
you
mean, no,
saying
it
that now-
was a lot. It was a lot,
Yeah,
Jordan.
but you saying that now because Shea became what he was.
No.
Like
Yeah.
Shea did not have to
saying that
become what
now-
he became for that
yes, he
to be a
did.
crazy
Like,
overpay.
Yes, he
hold on,
did,
hold on,
man.
hold on.
No,
First of
Shea
all,
just had to be a good player. He could be
first of all-
a 6-time All-Star and that still would have worked.
no,
That's not a
first
good
of
player.
all-
That's
first of
an
all,
elite
I'm not
player.
gonna lie, even a
Okay, he could have been a
two.
2-time
Yeah,
All-Star
that's-
and it still
Has
would
Shea
have been a
made the
good
All-Star
deal.
game
So
6 times yet? I don't think so.
No,
3
but
times?
hold on, because
Well,
what
maybe.
Penn is saying is like it's like they got rid of Gallinari, who barely played. Like Gallinari,
Well, Gallo was cold. He was still good at that time, bro.
yeah, he was good, but he was hurt.
Barely played.
Gallo had a lot of injuries. I know his last year with the Clippers, he kind of stayed healthy, but before that,
Yep.
Gallo had a lot of injuries. Like that's just what it was. He
That's
got hurt
true.
after they traded him. Shit.
Paul George didn't have injuries.
I mean,
Bro,
not off the
I'm
cuff.
Not to the
MVP,
extent that he
not
had
that
him
season.
previously.
a broken leg from 2014 and a
Like,
round.
but
Sure,
to be fair, he was dealing with a
bringing
shoulder
up
for
Gallo's
years in the
entire
playoffs.
injury history. Let's talk about it. I'm talking
Yes,
about
but
the year
still
that
a
they just
shoulder
had.
injury.
But we
Look, man,
can't-
the Clippers were coming off a
but
pretty
at the
good year.
same time, you can't compare Gallo and Paul George. Like, dude, at that time, the gap is like this between them two. You don't even see my hand. Like, you don't
Yeah.
see my hand. But at the end of the day, I'm saying what the Clippers gave up at the time wasn't an oversell. Like, it was not
Yes,
an
it
oversell.
was.
It was like they're getting Paul George
You
and
can
they
say it. You can say it over
Especially
and over.
at
It's
that
not going to
time.
make it not
that
true.
time.
Well, George,
I
Like,
do
you
understand
know,
I do understand the point that you're making, Penn. I do understand the point that you're making, but if I'm selling high, right? I'm selling high.
Go look at the
Off the
trade
strength of-
coverage, Joe. Go look at what people said about the trade right
Right,
now.
right,
I'm not
right,
making
right.
it up.
No, I get that. I definitely
They
get
said it
what
was
you're
a
saying.
fantastic trade for the Clippers.
Right. I get
No,
what
they
you're saying,
didn't.
Penn.
The Clippers instantly became one of the favorites after the trade.
Because they got Kawhi.
The divide
And
between
Paul
the
George.
Yes, and
But
you
the-
have to make that trade at that
The
time.
Thunder
If
did not
you
have to
don't-
give up
if you
Kawhi,
don't
dude.
Make that trade at
What
that
part
time. You're
do you not
getting fired.
understand?
I'm not going to argue that point. I'm not going to argue that point.
I don't
But I
understand
feel like
any of your part.
I feel like
I don't
a lot of
understand
this.
any of it because it
Okay,
don't make
listen to me.
sense.
Listen
What you
to
said
me.
originally.
Okay, when I'm saying this, Kawhi Leonard was only willing to go to LA if they could find a second star. Do we agree on that? The
Right.
Thunder had to complete their portion of the deal when the Toronto Raptors, who were already involuntarily completing the first part of the deal, i.e., letting Kawhi Leonard go because they couldn't sign him. So technically, if you're the OKC Thunder, you're extracting the value of not only Paul George but also Kawhi Leonard. But there's a nice little caveat here: Kawhi Leonard doesn't play for your team. So the Clippers are selling it to their fan base that, hey, we're getting rid of all this, but we're getting Kawhi and Paul George. But the Thunder are not. They don't have Kawhi Leonard. Does this not make sense? Like, am I losing my mind here?
No, Penn. It does.
What
make
you're
sense.
saying don't make sense. You're just talking in circles.
No,
Like you're not making
no.
any correlation
To
to
be
your
honest
point.
with you, Drench,
Okay, cool,
it actually does make sense. But here's the problem.
Not
though,
really.
Penn. Hear me out though, Jordan. The reason why it makes sense.
Like,
The reason why it makes sense is
Woosah.
Penn. The reason why it makes
Musa?
sense is
What does that mean?
the reason why it makes sense, Penn, is
Calm
because
down.
those trades, because those draft picks worked out. Like if those draft picks don't hit, then it doesn't make sense.
Chill. We
At
don't
all.
get to do that. We talk about deals in the
That's
moment.
what you're doing,
They
though.
overpaid. They
In the moment, they
overpaid.
did not.
Okay,
But I
Jordan?
think, but Penn, I will
They
say
overpaid. Their front office knows they overpaid. The entire league knows they overpaid. I know they overpaid. You know they overpaid. Everyone in the chat knows they overpaid. And the only reason that the overpay worked out okay for them is they got Kawhi Leonard too.
no, but hold on, but Penn, but Jordan, I think to Jordan's point, and I think what needs to be corrected in your language here.
Paul George.
They weren't
first round picks. Okay.
They no. I think Penn, this is what I'm saying. Just listening a little bit. They weren't getting Kawhi if they didn't make the trade. The trade was made for Kawhi and Paul George. That was the trade. Kawhi literally said to them, "I'm not coming." Because remember, at the time, Penn, I'm not coming. Jordan, I'm going to LA with the Lakers because they had LeBron and AD, and nobody else on the roster was signed at the time.
Swipe. This is a better question to ask Penn since you said they overpaid. What would have been an appropriate value for that trade then?
3 less first round picks.
Oh my God! See, that's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm
What
saying.
the hell do you think Paul George
it's
is?
not-
3 less first round picks.
At that time,
This is so crazy. This is so crazy. This is so crazy.
Go ahead, Damo.
2019.
Please, because it's like
Damo.
no one's willing to listen to each other. Everyone's waiting to talk. This is insane. Look at it as a 3-team trade, if anything. Also, in the moment, y'all are both right. It was split. The crowd of people that didn't really care about draft picks or value draft picks and seeing what the Clippers were trying to do said it was a great trade, a generational trade. It was a transcendent trade, a trade to put them on path to do everything. People that cared about draft picks, people that knew about holding and maintaining your future because you never knew what happened, whatever at the time, said it was a horrible trade. You gave up so many things for, again, Paul George. You did have the crowd of people that understood it was a 3-team trade, but in reality, it was for Paul George. There were that crowd of people with Penn's thinking. There were also the crowd of people with Drench's thinking. Can we please find the common ground and move on to a better argument? Y'all are arguing in circles for no reason.
Which, by the way, Damo, Mars, you and I have had a conversation not long ago. You know how I feel about the 3 sections of the season, where you got the first third of the season where you are, and then we have the dog days of the summer, of the season, that second third. And then you got the last third of the season where everybody's getting ramped up. So with that being said, I was taking a look at the Dallas Mavericks schedule. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. All right. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. Their schedule is set up. They're going to beat Brooklyn tonight. They're going to beat Utah on Monday.
Slow down.
Nothing is for sure.
Brooklyn?
We watched Milwaukee beat Boston last night, so nothing.
We'll assume they'll beat Brooklyn for the sake of the conversation. Okay, carry on.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to beat Brooklyn tonight, and I think they're going to beat Utah on Sunday. With that being said, I think they're going to lose to Detroit. Then you got Philly, New Orleans. Denver's going to be tough, but then Sacramento, Golden State, Portland, Philly, Sacramento again, Utah, Chicago, and Brooklyn. They got a very favorable schedule.
Very favorable.
That's just a bunch of teams on that level.
True. What's the record right now, Chill?
And 9 and 16.
9 and 16.
So they could technically get to 500 over the next 2 weeks, maybe.
They could also get way deeper in the hole.
A lot of ground.
That means they're going to have to
They
go
can make up a lot of ground.
9 and 2.
I know. Here,
What
would you,
their
Damo,
schedule looks like right now, Mars.
Chill.
Yeah, but you believe in them to beat these teams more than I do.
Chill and Mars. We're going to do crunch time chats real quick and get back to this conversation because I think this is the AD conversation is still relevant to what exactly we think can happen for the rest of the season. And obviously, we'll see what happens with the trade or whatnot.
Yep.
But we got a bunch of super chats in the first half of the show. Look at all the love that we're getting. This has been amazing. We got a $10 super chat, DSG Piccolo. Niggas getting bent like a white at an HBCU by the 3-22 Pelicans. I'll see y'all at the trade deadline because these niggas have no heart. Get the Blazers off the floor. And now I'm not gonna lie to you, Mars. I'm shocked that our Blazers have fallen off like this.
I am too.
What do you think is going to happen?
I mean,
they're not healthy.
Yeah, and they coaches.
Okay, the Blazers had lost 2 straight. The Blazers had lost 2 straight going into last night. The Pelicans had lost 7 straight. So someone was going to win that game. Someone had to win that game.
But Portland's have the same record as Dallas. So
look, Portland. Look at Portland's injury list. Just look at who's out for them, and then
is Drew still out. I think Drew's still out.
Drew is out.
Drew's still out. Scoot. I don't even know if
they started Chris Murray last night.
Matisse is out. Blake Wesley is out.
Dame is out.
That was a big loss.
Dame's obviously out. Donovan Clingan, I don't think played. I didn't watch the game yesterday. I can't tell you how they lost to the Pelicans.
I can tell you how they lost.
Derek Queen. Okay, thank you.
No, Trey Murphy, respectfully, but yeah.
But yeah, so like they are decimated of injuries, but also the most disappointing thing about the Blazers, their defense has not been defensive. And that was like the thing that was meant to like make them elite.
Tamani Kamara.
Their defense is just hasn't been where it was supposed to be this year.
Because one of them Denver boys let them down. You know how y'all Denver boys do. Y'all just let guys down. That's what happened.
Matter of fact, your career better since you met me, Jordan. So obviously not. Next super chat we got is Bob Solo.
No effect on my career.
$10 super chat. My friendship 100% affects you. Kuzma 180 skyhook, 31 points. I know one game is one game, but can you admit Chill Kuzma played well? I feel OKC is the greatest team, but seeing Golden State Warriors start well and lose in the finals, these teams aren't the same. Go Knicks, go.
I also didn't watch that game, but yeah, if Kuzma plays well, I'm not going to be like, nah. Like, if the guy plays well, he plays well. I've seen a clip of him talking to Jaylen Brown at the free throw line. That was cool. But I ain't watched that game either. I seen KPJ had a triple-double, I think.
So, one thing we've been ignoring is when he came back from injury, like, he been playing freaking fantastic. Like, first of all, I thought he was playing good before the injury, but he come back after the injury, and just the game just looked like it's just completely slowed down for him at this point. He don't look like he's under duress at any moment. He looks like he actually know what's going on. It could be Doc, could be the Doc effect. Because sometimes Doc get them point guards and he kind of teach him a thing or two. One thing about Doc, you can say what you want to say about him. When it comes to that point guard position, he help you out now. Run that position. So I don't know, man.
We need that 3-point percentage to come back down to.
This is why I don't understand.
Really see where he's at, but
this is why I don't understand box score stuff. I do understand box score stuff, but I don't understand box score stuff. Damo, how is Gary Harris, who didn't make a shot last night, by the way, at the long ball line from the floor?
Oh, the plus minus stuff.
Over. And how did he become a plus 26?
Because
that means his team won by 26 points when he was on the floor.
Box score is important, but it's also not everything. Yesterday, Spencer Jones, by the way, 1 rebound in the first half was a plus 20. Defensive things matter too, like box outs matter. All the stuff that doesn't necessarily go on the box.
Sometimes you're just in a lineup that goes on a run.
Is it?
I'm not saying
and it just depends.
Sometimes you're just in a lineup that goes on a run. And nice when you make a plus 20.
Chill, did you watch that Boston game, Chill?
Yeah,
I did.
Okay, yes, perfect. So I'm thinking you thought Kevin Porter Jr. played really well?
Well, a lot of Swiper is with the mob with the pitchforks and the knives. When I told him that Kevin Porter Jr. was very viable, he told
no, that's not what you said.
No.
So, you said he was a top 20 point guard in the league.
So, Kevin Porter Jr. was a negative.
You said you had some difficulty understanding the plus minus stuff. So I just wanted to get your read on who you thought to your eye test. Who do you think did well? So here are some players. I'm going to ask you, did you think that he did well? Bobby Portis, do you think he did well?
I thought he was good last night. Yes.
Kevin Porter Jr. Did well?
I thought he was really good last night. Yes.
Jordan Walsh did well?
I thought he missed some assignments defensively, but I mean, I'm not just.
I mean, he hit he shot 95% effective field goal percentage, but I guess that's going to help him. Jaylen Brown, he played well. Hugo Gonzalez played pretty well. Josh Minot played pretty well. Those are the plus minus leaders from last night in terms of boxes minus. The guy that you're talking about, Gary Harris, he actually had a -7 boxes minus last night.
But his regular plus minus was plus 26.
Yeah. And the regular plus minus is a little different. Like he could be guarding somebody that just missing a lot of shots too. Sometimes, like you just
that has nothing to do with anything.
Rebound, or you can you said that don't what?
That don't have anything to do with anything.
I mean,
yeah, it does.
If you're on a court and your team goes on a 12-0 run and you do nothing,
okay,
that's
Jordan. Is
that what that means, Miles? I might not even be contributing to what we're doing.
Plus minus is literally the score when you're in the game. That's it. That's all plus minus is.
Hold on.
And I ain't doing nothing out here. I'm just a filler.
Anything. As long as you're in the game, if your team let's say you come into
And
the
we
game,
rolling.
the game is 22-22. You come in and all you do is do some cardio, run up and down. You're guarding PJ Tucker in the corner.
And we go on a 12-0 run.
He doesn't do a thing.
You're
and then on
12.
the other side, you're standing in the corner doing your own PJ Tucker, and you don't touch the ball. But if your team
do you
goes
know how
on
they score? Do you know how they score that? Do you know how they score box plus minus? I mean, plus minus. I mean, I don't know about box plus.
Plus
you know
minus? Yes,
minus?
of course.
How do they score?
When you're in the game,
You come in the game. Simply put, Jordan, the score is 50, 52, 52. I come into the game for 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. My team goes on a
8-0 run,
10-0 run in 3 minutes. I miss 3 shots. My teammates make every shot. Okay. I miss my assignment. My teammates, like they cover everything up for me. I'm terrible. My teammates are awesome. I'm plus 10. That's how it works.
Because Gary Harris.
But
that happens.
That's why I think y'all are calculating in the most important stat when it comes to KPJ.
Yeah, but hold on. How do you hold on? Because I want to make a point. How do you score box plus minus?
Box plus minus is very different because it actually looks at your individual contributions to the game. It looks at variables like your true shooting percentage. It looks at how many turnovers you had. It looks at the offensive rating and the defensive rating when you were on the court specifically. Did the offense do well?
Shit, that's screwing me up.
So chill. When I was in school, when I was playing, this is how we did box plus minus. This is how it was score. I don't know if it's changed or what, or people just don't know.
Oh Lord,
this is how it was score.
I bet you some big
everybody started off with pretty much a 0. Pretty much you start off with a 0, right?
Okay.
If I score, right, plus. If I turn the ball over, negative. If I get a rebound, plus. If somebody score on me, negative. Now I don't know where all of this usage and all this other shit come from.
They stole his formula, didn't even give him credit.
If I blocked a shot, plus. If I got an assist, plus. I'm trying to figure out when did it
to
change?
be fair, Penn is the only person I know that uses
because that was never an official formula.
Yeah, I don't know anyone else.
That's how it was. That's how it was when. That's how
you don't know anyone else.
Yeah, you created a stat. Y'all created your own stat.
I promise you, I didn't. I promise you.
All
I
right.
didn't.
So they're asking to move on to the next super chat. So I do appreciate that one. Drink more water. MIL $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. Always, you are very consistent on this platform. Didn't really get the answer I wanted. I wanted y'all to compare this OKC defense versus the other great defenses of recent time. What exactly makes them better and match up for them? Personnel, probably personnel versus personnel.
Their versatility makes them better or different, at least, right? For me, at least, like their ability to guard multiple positions makes them so switchable, and that ability to like use agility, size, strength, and quickness to blitz the basketball, recover, protect the rim. They're able to be, it really does feel like you know, sometimes in practice, your coach will make you scrimmage 6-on-5 to get you used to something, right? I think teams should probably scrimmage 6-on-5 to get used to this type of pressure because it feels like you got an opening and you start making your move. Oops, it's gone. You think there's a passing lane and oops, there's Casey Wallace. So that's, I think, what makes them very special is almost every other great defense did have something you could poke at. There was a slow-footed big. There was a big that you could exploit. Their ability to go deep into their rotation and sort of shape-shift their defense is what, in my opinion, makes them special. And a lot of people say Shea is a weak defender, which is hilarious to me because if he was on another team, people would call him a defensive stopper. If his load and usage was different, like people were calling him if he didn't have to carry such a load offensively and they just said, okay, Shea, you can't shoot today. You just stand in the corner and defend. Like he'd be a pretty good defender.
If he was in Atlanta,
he's definitely not a bad defender.
If he was in Atlanta, we'd be looking at him differently as a defender.
Which
he'd be looking like his cousin.
It's probably worse than what we look at him now.
No, we would not be. No, that's I do think we.
I mean, if he never developed offensively, sure. Because they used him on the Clippers.
I'm not saying that he's an all-league defender, Mars. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, though, is he wouldn't be the fact that he plays on this Oklahoma City team. He looks like they protect him more than he's actually.
Is he a better defender than Nikhil in a vacuum, Mars?
Yes.
No, he's not a better defender than Nikhil. But chill. I would say if anybody's saying they're protecting Shea. If anybody's saying they're protecting,
I hear that all the time. I do.
Yeah, but I think that's just nonsense. Like he's obviously the worst defender out of the group. Like why does that didn't mean you're protecting him? Like he's just he's not a bad defender. He's not a great defender, but he's not a bad defender. It's just like bruh. I literally, if you understand how offensive schemes are, like they looking for the weakest defender. Like, so you got 4 other defenders that can guard. Why put him in action? Like, why? Like, doesn't mean you protecting him. It's just shit.
Well, I think they're scheming to protect
I think
him.
it's in their best interest to protect him. There's no point.
What they'll do is, like, especially like I said, when they play Denver, for instance, they keep him out of the pick and roll as much as possible. So what happens is the Nuggets will bring him up in a like a Spain, like either a Spain pick and roll Jordan or just in a double drag. But SGA will run the hump, so he'll run the hump back to the corner to get out of it. Now that's not because he's like. Well, he maybe can't defend it as well, but like it's not just because like they don't want him to defend it, but it just makes more sense to have your 32 points per game player that's carrying the offensive load to go be in the corner and not have to worry about actually getting between, Jokic and Murray or Şengün and Kevin Durant. Like, let's just let him go be Jabari Smith Jr. and then you just can kind of take a breath a little bit. So I think it actually works out.
We're not going to give you when we have all of this other stuff around us, we're not going to give you the primary responsibility, Damo, of being the primary defender. Even though I do think that you can defend at a high level, we got other guys who can do that. We got other guys who can do that. However, I am able to defend at a high level, but I think what gets masked is the fact that because he is and he's running with such a great unit defensively that he can't defend at that level. And I think that that's where the issue is. But when you think about, Jordan, to your point, when you think about the better defensive teams, I'm sorry to the super chat. So like, where do they match up with like Minnesota when they were the #1 defense in the league when they lost in the West Finals? Like, where do they match up with that Milwaukee team when they won the NBA championship? Because Giannis was, I think that was peak defensive Giannis, like between 18 and 21. I think that was peak Giannis as a defender at that point. Like,
who better rim protection, Brook Lopez and Giannis at that point, or Chet and Ihart?
The Bucks.
I think it's the Bucks. Yes, sir. I definitely think it was the Bucks. No doubt about it.
OKC's biggest advantage on defense is speed. Like, that's what it is. It's speed and length. The Bucks
got great hands. They got great hands.
Yeah, it's speed, length, and then obviously like the ability to turn you over. But the Bucks was more like typical in the sense of you're gonna have Brook in the deep drop, you're gonna have Bledsoe or Drew chasing everything over the top, and they were elite, strong, physical. Middleton was capable in defense. Giannis is like this game-wrecking roamer, but like in terms of like the versatility of it, like the fact that you had Brook Lopez lack of mobility out there, that's something that the Thunder don't have to reconcile. Not to mention like the bench depth, and you have all these guys you can go to, they can switch everything. The amount of scheme versatility, like that's something the Bucks didn't have. But their pure rim protection, they remind me of like the mid 2010s Pacers with like Roy Hibbert in them, but like you add Giannis to that, and like it's amazing. So like they were a great defense, but like matchup for matchup, depending on who you see, like OKC I think have more of an answer for everything. Whereas the Bucks, if you play a matchup that favors a drop coverage screen and whatnot, you might struggle to break 100 against the Bucks. But like certain other matchups, you might actually cause the Bucks problems. The only thing I've seen that gives OKC problem is like constant motion, like away from the ball, like a Warriors type system. Like
you can't play one-on-one.
Degree. Yeah, like if you're constantly moving the ball and guys are moving away from the ball and cutting, and you're trying to move the help because they're gonna shrink the floor on drivers, all of that. But if you're trying to move the help, then I think you can have some success against OKC. But that's like
to be fair, OKC is acceptable to Mars to size. Like if they don't want to mismatch versus bigs consistently. So I think with the off-ball pin downs and all that kind of stuff, like I said, like that's why I think Şengün had a really good game in the game 1 versus them. You can still take advantage of them because bigs are still bigs. Now they can swarm you, but like typically they're going to try to leave you, covers and just kind of help off ball. But you can still find ways to win in those matchups. But I want to make sure we give more time for the Anthony Davis conversation. Jordan, did you have a last note? I just wanted to do one more super chat.
No, I was just going to say, well, Oklahoma City, I don't know if they're a great rim protecting defense. I don't see them as that. It's just hard for you to get to the rim with them.
You don't like Chet?
It's hard for you to
don't
get
like
there.
Chet at the rim?
No, I didn't say I don't like them. I just don't see them as this great rim protecting defensive team. It's just so hard for you to get to the rim. Like they force you to take these badass shots. Like they force you to do so much. I don't know if they force you to do it, but teams just used to playing like that. And then when you play against them, it's just so bad. Like to me, it's not that like it's not even a comparison between the Bucks rim defense.
You know they have the best rim defensive field goal percentage in the league, right? By more than 3%.
Sure, maybe from a stat. I'm just saying from watching them though.
But how do we know if teams never get to the rim? See, That's
But
the
teams
I'm
do
not
get
gonna
to the
lie.
rim. That's why you see Chet blocking shots.
They have the third best rim frequency as well, which means they're stopping you from
Yeah.
getting there as well. But like,
Yeah,
if they stop you
exactly.
from
That's like
getting
that's
there
what
all
I'm
the
saying.
time, and when you get there, you finish at the most inefficient rate.
Right. So when you look at this stat, when you say they have the best rim, it's obviously you don't get there as much as everybody else is. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Basically, it's not about what they do at the rim. To me, it's more about what they do before you get there. Like that's the thing. I feel like if people can figure out how to get to the Thunder defense at the rim consistently, I think their stats will look a little bit differently.
Sure.
That's what I think. A lot differently.
Last super chat in this section. Then we'll get back. I know we will have time to answer this later. Uncle Dad, $20 super chat. I can't believe the Buccaneers lost that game last night. Swiper, did you lose the game? Absolutely. The Buccaneers sold. They had an opportunity to really get a stronghold on the division yesterday, the NFC South. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons, had an incredibly bad turnover to end the game from Baker Mayfield, 8 minutes left. And then, by the way, I don't know if anybody played fantasy football, but Kyle Pitts yesterday had 11 receptions, 166 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That is the best tight end game we've seen with those numbers since Shannon Sharp in 1996. And this is a dude that has constantly underperformed his contract and such as well. So he's going to get a big payday. Jordan, I don't know the equivalent of the NBA term, but if they're a player in the NBA, Jordan, that was drafted super high, really good athlete, maybe Aaron Gordon, but they just don't pop until the very end of their rookie deal, and then all of a sudden they're like a Pro Bowler / All-Star. He's a great athlete.
I don't know, Swiper, but he's gonna be a Titan next year, so it don't really matter.
I mean, you could probably throw him, $16 million a year next to Cam Ward. That probably would make sense.
Yeah, probably gonna be.
Jordan, we're gonna whoop y'all ass this weekend too. By the way, we're gonna whoop y'all ass.
Chill. We are on the 1-0 win streak. We are on the 1-0 win streak. We gonna tear y'all ass up, chill.
Yeah, we're gonna whoop y'all ass. So I just want to put that out.
You don't want to run into a team that's 1-0.
Y'all, Mar, any words on Kyle Pitts? I know you're a football fan.
It's the Kyle Pitts year. It's been the Kyle Pitts year the last 4 years. It's finally happening.
Yeah, shout out fantasy football. This is your first round matchup. If you are not on a bye this week and you play against Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson, I feel bad for you. That's why you got to get your bye. But all right, y'all, we're going to do a super chat leading back into the Anthony Davis conversation because I actually think this is really pertinent for this. So we got D Barber 1313 said, Mavs fan here, trade AD for as much as you can ASAP, get a pick or two, an expiring contract, and a young player, and move on. AD is exactly who Dallas fans thought he was. Start fresh around flag. Now I got to ask y'all, because Jordan, I know you don't call yourself a fan. Mars, you don't necessarily call yourself like a team fan in particular. Damo, you stroll to the fence. Lakers fan, I think you're like a hater now because of whatever. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. If I traded Luka and I got this AD back, and you playing like this, and you ain't never playing, I will be hot, and I would absolutely want him to get out of there.
I'm just telling you, like y'all. I think people are just reacting right now because I think the Luka was so bad, but like, bro, you made the decision. Now stand on your decision. Like, let's.
No, they didn't make that decision. Nico made it. Got fired. They didn't want this.
I mean, sure, but you got AD. Wait,
they don't want AD.
Get back.
But the fans don't want him. That's what I'm saying.
I don't give a shit what the fans want. They didn't want to trade Luka. They don't obviously give a shit what the fans want.
No, well, I'm saying as a fan, though, he's speaking as a fan. You're saying, Jordan, you as a fan who didn't want to trade your best player, second best player ever, in the middle of right before their prime starts to the Lakers, nonetheless, for an injured older center who's not playing currently now, well, like averaging 19 a game. You're saying as a fan that you would not be angry and upset?
I'm saying the Mavericks' problem is obviously health issues right now. Derek Lively is hurt. AD is hurt.
Out for the season.
Kyrie Irving is hurt. Like, you don't know what y'all look like full strength. Y'all have no idea. Y'all have yet to see it. So we don't even know if the trade was good. Obviously,
so if Luka ends up not getting traded and you lose Derek Lively for the season, I mean, are we still? But you just have Luka, so that's the difference. Like, we didn't trade Luka.
Well, yeah, you would have your best player who's a better player and a younger player.
They have to trade him, Joe. They have to trade him. Yeah, they're not good enough to compete. But they definitely do. But you're right that they could wait. The cost of waiting, however, is that if Kyrie comes back, presumably you win a lot more games. If you win a lot more games and you risk another Anthony Davis injury, i.e. you get bounced in the playoffs, you also lose your little lottery pick here that you have going for you right now. in a very competitive Western Conference, you do have your own pick. That is a saving grace here. There's a lot of teams that are really bad right now that don't have their own pick. They have their own
agree
pick.
with that strategy because I don't
And
like
this is the only year they have their
like
pick.
losing is
They
just
don't
stupid.
have them in the future.
Exactly. 2028, OKC has a right to swap. So you won't want to be bad in 2028. Otherwise, we're having the same conversation with OKC. Oh my God, OKC going to get, I don't know, some great player. Okay.
So blow this thing up is what you're saying. I want to make sure I'm following you guys.
But I understand what Jordan's saying too about the timing.
Blow this thing up. This draft here is going to be a good draft, and whatever we get in this draft, whether it's a lottery pick, a top 5 pick, a top 10 pick, and we're going to build around Cooper Flag and whomever we get in the draft. Is that what we're saying?
Sure. And whatever we get back in the Anthony Davis trade. So, I mean, presumably with AD, right? He's still a very good player. You're going to get back at least a couple first round picks, maybe a young player, maybe an expiring. That's what they're looking to do. They're also a very expensive team, Joe. They're a very expensive team. They're looking to shed some salary here. So
the NBA championship logic is over. We're done with that. So if
that was over when Kyrie got hurt.
Sure.
That was over when Kyrie got hurt.
Not 1980. Teams don't win starting rookies anymore. When's the last time that's happened? When is the last time a team won a championship starting a rookie in a prominent top 3 offensive role?
I mean, to be fair, he didn't say they was gonna win one this year. He said with 3-year window. So can we wait till the window end at least?
35-year-old Anthony Davis, 35-year-old Kyrie Irving.
I'm glad you said window. I'm glad you said window, Jordan.
Right now,
because when you plan out a window, ideally that window will be open longer than 2 minutes. Because when you're trying to talk about players on timelines that are compatible, you're talking about guys like Shea and Alex Caruso, 26, 30. You're talking about guys like, I don't know, Michael Jordan and Bill Cartwright. Okay. Like they're close enough in age. We can make it work, right? If you look at the Sacramento Kings, the early 2000s, Portland Trail Blazers, early 2000s, those were teams that had 3, 4, 5-year windows to be competitive, right? A team like Dallas, they need Cooper Flag to be much better than he currently is to get to that level. But they also need Anthony Davis and Kyrie to maintain. The best you could hope for is if you do everything right, Derek Lively come back healthy, Daniel Gafford, he's healthy, AD is amazing, Kyrie, and Cooper Flag progresses rapidly. Like we're talking rapid ascension.
But I also got a counterpart to that is because I feel like when you got young players like Cooper Flag, and you have so much inconsistency and so much turmoil with roster changes and things like that, and let no vets, because you're probably going to trade these guys, get some young guys. That's not good for his development. In a perfect world, right? Or not even a perfect world.
You can bring in vets.
You could definitely ruin them.
Yeah, in the real world, this is a great scenario for me. Like, I would like to see AD and Kyrie on the floor at the same time. I would also like to see Derek Lively and Gafford with them as well, too.
But Lively out for the year.
Not on the floor at the same time, but I would like for that to work out. And then we work with Cooper, AD, Kyrie, and see what we got. Because going forward next year, that'll be it might not be a championship trio, but only one team can win a championship anyway. So it may be a working piece so we can get Cooper Flag to this point of excellence to where Cooper Flag is looking like a valuable piece. And maybe along that timeline, if we just be patient a little bit, maybe they can develop something.
Jordan, payday loans have the worst interest rate for a reason.
Yeah, but it does. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that.
The closer you get to the deadline,
you keep starting your dream over, you're never gonna get to your dream.
But
it's never gonna happen.
But this ain't the dream, Jordan. The dream was Luka. They traded away the dream, and now they woke up in a nightmare.
Well, clearly it wasn't, because they looked at him and thought that we couldn't win with him.
It doesn't make no sense. Like you just gonna end up having the Mavericks in the same conversation 7 years from now.
It's not the same conversation because you need to restock your assets. Number one, and number two, the closer you get to the deadline. Now, again, time is not necessarily on your side if it doesn't go well. If it does go well, you're rolling into a situation where you run out of options, and then everybody knows you're desperate. If you're a bad team when Kyrie comes back,
about that now, Penn.
Kyrie's older. They're going to need some time to gel. Kyrie's never played with Cooper. How do you know they don't go on a 5-game losing streak? In the West, 5-game losing streak, you're out of the playoffs. My point is, you've already started so far behind the 8 ball. The closer you get to the deadline, if teams know you have to sell, right? Because they know you're going to tank, and you're not tanking with AD at 33 years old, because AD about to turn 33 this year. Now the offers will lower because the value will be suppressed because you'll be more desperate. Look at what happened with the Raptors a couple years ago. They held on to OG and Pascal until the last minute, and then teams were like, "We're not going to give you the most value." So right now,
it doesn't matter. It's presumed that value that they're going to get is going to turn into something great.
Like I don't think the value of AD is great right now either. I get what you're saying. I don't think the value of AD is that great right now either, because he's injured and he's missed some time, and there's Achilles conversations, and he looks bigger, and he's got goggles on for the rest of his career. I understand. But with Derek Lively going out for the season, I think that cements that you're not going to be competitive this year. That's the best center on your roster. Respectfully to Daniel Gafford, he's the best.
But to me, Penn, and I know you keep saying this year. To me, it's not just about this year. It's just about building something. Like it's just about having a foundation. Like with all these moves and take this guy out, move this guy. They don't have any foundation. Like,
but if your foundation is an 18-year-old kid, you got to build with someone younger.
Hold on, because next year they're going to be trying to start another foundation, and it's just like,
no.
But then if that don't work, then it's going to be like, oh, go save Cooper Flag out of Dallas, and it's like, yo, you have KD. I mean, you have Kyrie and AD. Let those guys work into something. Like, let them build something. Like, to just trade them away because you feel like young guys can save this franchise. I think that's stupid. I don't think it works either. But I'm also a big component of, I've been saying, I don't think tanking works. So I just don't agree with, you don't know what you need until you see your team at full strength and say, okay, we can improve this, improve that, and then we can go a direction. All this guessing, to me, is stupid. To me, all this guessing is stupid.
Okay, there's like three important things. One, the Luka trade is done. That's not part. That should not be part of any of this. That's a sunk cost that has already happened. Two, the foundation they want to build is around Cooper, and they're not trying to build a foundation right now. They're trying to get to where they can build it around Cooper Flag.
No, it's not. They got lucky with Cooper Flag. Cooper wasn't part of the plan.
No, we're talking
now. We got lucky.
No, but chill. Yeah, he's saying now.
Whether or not they lucked into the number one pick doesn't matter.
They have Cooper now. That is
so they're going to build around him.
Right now, we're trying to build
so
the
that's the case. Keep going.
And the third important thing is, I think about this AD trade value is a little weird because there's two things. More teams are going to be able to trade for him in the summer, this upcoming summer, because of the cap restrictions. And that's usually how it goes with caps, that there's more teams that can maneuver salaries around to accommodate a salary like Anthony Davis in the summer. And the second thing is, yes, his trade value was very low like a couple of weeks ago, and now he's beginning to play himself into form. So I'm kind of seeing here with Penn that it might be one to get our own pick right now to be the lowest it can be, so we can get the best possible prospect to pair with Cooper, because we don't have our picks the next couple of years. So we got to hit it now. We can't wait. Like if we want to tank, it's got to be now.
What's worth more to you right now? 1 for 1, would you trade Anthony Davis for a top 3 pick this year? Just curious. Yes. Okay, perfect. So basically, when you trade Anthony Davis, because listen, like here, this has to be factored in fully from a team building perspective, the way Dallas is looking at this. If Anthony Davis plays well, you will win games because he is a fantastic player. Okay. When he plays well, you win games. When you win games, your pick worsens. And unless you're hoping that lightning will strike twice, i.e., you're going to move from 11th to 1st or 10th to 1st or 9th to 1st, you probably want to secure yourself at least a guarantee at one of those top 3-4 guys. We're looking at this draft. We're watching college basketball. These guys are amazing. And frankly, what I said the other day holds true. Hitting on one of these guys at the top of the draft, hitting on one of these guys, especially in a draft that is as generational as 2026, it is worth so much downstream. It is worth so much. If you get an AJ DeBonsa or Cam Boozer or one of these guys to pair with Cooper Flag, now we can undo yes, it's a sunk cost, but we can sort of forget about Luka. We can finally move on. We can say we're building this young team, and we can stop talking about trying to win a championship and defense and AD and Clay and Kyrie. We can move off all that. And oh, by the way, we got these 2 young guys, and we got all the young pieces that we got back in the trade for them. We can be back up and running, planning for a championship around Cooper in 2030.
So the champion. So
sound good until y'all
in
2028,
that's
2029.
what I was about to say, Jordan. I want to make sure I'm following you correctly, Ben, because what it sounds like is it sounds to me like you're telling me
that's why.
Like where Penn, where is Anthony Davis in the pantheon of players in today's game right now, in your estimation? Today.
He's a top 15 player if he's healthy.
Okay, so stay right there. If he's healthy. So the top 3 pick within the next, let's say 5 years, is going to be a top 15 player if he's healthy.
He could be.
Doesn't have to be.
Look at the top 15 players today, Chill. How many of them were draft picks 5 years ago?
But Chill,
think Cade Cunningham's a top 15 player?
With that because that's what I think about when I'm thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about trading for a guy for a draft pick. I'm thinking you are going to be better than what I got right now over the course of the next 5 years. That's what I'm thinking. All right. So with that being said, either the deal is take the draft picks or what we already have with Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, to Jordan's point and to my point. Let's see what it is.
Mr.
Do we have that kind of timeline? Do we have that kind of timeline to see what it is?
I think it's why not?
What happens?
My question would be why not?
Who is your GOAT? Remind me again. Who is your GOAT? Joe. Who is your GOAT? Yes,
James.
sir.
James.
How old was he when he won his first championship?
26.
How old was Michael Jordan when he won his first championship?
28.
How old was Shaquille O'Neal when he won his first championship?
28.
Okay, cool. So we are planning for Cooper Flagg, 18 years old, plus or minus 6 years from now is when his window opens.
When Shea won his first championship.
When his window
Shea
opens.
was 26.
So like
it kind of keeps holding true, and unless you're Kobe Bryant and you end up on a team with Shaq, you're going to be around 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 when you break through. Jokic broke through in that age too. It's very rare that a player is like a generational talent. Look, man, you don't plan to be wrong. Okay, you plan this thing out as if you're going to be right, and you adjust accordingly if it goes bad. So right now, you draft Cooper Flagg number 1. You think he's amazing. You think he's going to be a franchise cornerstone. Cool. Plan to win championships with him, but plan around his timeline. Accelerate the timeline. Give him help. Give him veterans. No one's saying, put him in a Charlotte Bobcats situation. No one's saying that.
That's
put
what's going to
veterans
happen
around him. No, it doesn't have to happen that way because we don't have a draft picks, Jordan. We don't have draft picks from this point on. So this draft right here represents the last. Look, you got 2 boats. There are 2 boats off this island. Okay. Boat number 1, this draft. Boat number 2, trade packages for Clay, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving. That's our whole. That's our only path to build around Cooper because we already traded all these other damn picks.
To me, that doesn't make any sense to me because it's like you're banking on this draft class who haven't done absolutely nothing. You're banking that they're going to be great, and you haven't seen none of these players play.
I just believe in things that haven't happened yet. Yes.
Hold on, because you haven't seen any of these players play in the setting, and you said it was generational. I don't think it's a generational talent in this draft class. They're good players. None of these players are generational. But
none.
I will say this:
not one.
Not one of these players are generational, but I will say
you know that Shea was. Wait a minute, though, Jordan.
Damo, you seem to have thoughts about this, and I know Jordan, and you've been not saying it's a good conversation. You've been talking.
Hold on, because I wasn't finishing my point about. I wasn't finishing my point about what Penn was basically saying about. You're trying to build around Cooper Flagg and help him win a championship at 26. Well, I got KD. I got AD. I got Kyrie on the team. I got Klay Thompson. I got PJ Washington on the team. Like. I got Derek Lively. I got Gafford. I got great pieces on this team. All they have to do is hold on. All they have to do, because y'all gonna move the subject every time we bring up these pieces. Y'all move it to draft picks. Y'all exclude all of this.
Start over.
They want to start over, but at the end of the day, I think the best ideal plan of what we have right now is let's keep this team. Let's see what happens when they get healthy. Let's see how Cooper Flagg fits with them, and if they keep playing good, they could possibly be a championship team if Cooper Flagg developed to the guy that y'all think.
Damo's next. Go ahead, Damo.
I would just like to say it is very crazy how we're looking at this situation that they're in and not seeing they can just do both. Why not do both? They have their pick in this year's draft. Honestly, when Kyrie went down, that was a telltale sign. You should have been looking at your season. How Celtics fans were looking at their season when Tatum went down. How Pacers fans looked about their season when Reese went down. It is a gap year. This is the gap year where you do.
I don't think none of those teams was tanking though, Damo.
Again, they weren't tanking at the time, but once their star player went down and they realized, okay, this next year is a gap year. That is what I'm talking about.
Boston
With
not
the Mavericks, no one is talking about tanking. Please just let me finish. What the Mavericks can do, or in the position to do, traded away Luka Doncic. I understand that it has nothing to do with it. Cool. They get Cooper Flag. They have their piece to build around for the future, but they also have the opportunity to still be competitive, which a lot of young players do not get the chance to do in their early years. The last great player I think that was able to start his career off being competitive was who? Jason Tatum? Was Tatum the last one that went into a situation where they had vets that had expectations, they wanted to be competitive, but they also had a 3, 4, 5 year plan with their young guys, which was Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and whatever other guys they had at the time that they wanted to believe in got off of it. Cool.
Chet was competitive right away.
So now the Mavericks have Cooper Flag. They have the season where Kyrie's not there. Now AD's not there. So guess what? We have a chance to tank and get the best opportunity to have a pick in this loaded draft class and just be in the lottery. That's all they need to do. Be in the lottery, take this player, build him along with Cooper Flag, see if Kyrie and AD can have you be competitive. And if they're not, then move off of them. What is this fascination with moving off of them this year? You have time to move off of them.
That's my point.
Hold on. With the Mavericks, it is still a 3-year window, 4-year window for the young guys in terms of their development. And there's also a 3-year window to see if you can still be competitive. Ben, you alluded to it earlier. They're an expensive team. They are paying players. They are paying players that have expectations. So they still have wiggle room to figure out what they want to do if they see that they aren't competitive. This 2026 season shouldn't even have been seen as a thing of them trying to be competitive in terms of being a Dallas Mavericks fan. Any Dallas Maverick fan that really is walking away from the season or on Twitter crying with their thumbs about, oh my God, Anthony Davis is out again. Our season's over. It was over when Kyrie got hurt. Shorty, like, I don't understand what we're talking about. Y'all should
you saying
watched
the
the
same
season.
thing I just said. You saying the exact same thing I said.
No,
Why are you
also.
arguing with him?
I don't understand what the argument is. I don't understand why y'all are still going, because they can do both. They can compete for the next 2 years.
What I said, every time we talk about this is why I said every time we talk about the Mavericks pieces, they always shifted to trade AD and trade. That's
Anthony Davis is 32 years old. The value of a 32-year-old. Hold on. He has a massive injury history, number one. And then he's going to turn 33 in March, which means this year he will be 33. The reason some people, I think the right argument here is to trade him is because the value of a 33-year-old and the risk of potentially a serious injury with Anthony Davis is so large that holding on to him for more value this summer, if that's what you're hoping for.
That's not what Damo's saying.
What I'm saying is, in my opinion, Penn, and I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to do that.
Go ahead.
But all I'm saying is, with Anthony Davis, you've already missed your window of opportunity to get the most value from him because of his injury, because of the fact he got hurt now.
Yes.
He put on the weight, the perception of him. So you're already not going to be able to sell super high, in my opinion. His value is already depleted. So you're getting what you, in my opinion, you get.
The value is the value is two ways. So listen, like if Damo, if you in the desert and you haven't drank water in 3 days, how much could I sell a glass of water to you for?
I'll probably
everything you got,
Everything
you got, right? But if you at the mall, I probably couldn't get $2 out of you. And that's the point. In the Eastern Conference right now, with all the gap years you were talking about, there are a lot of teams that see themselves as a potential finalist. That may not be the case next year when Detroit and New York maybe just stamp themselves as the top of the East. Maybe some other teams come up, Orlando, etc. There is whether it's real or not doesn't matter. What matters is what teams think. There are 6 teams right now in the Eastern Conference that legitimately think they can make a run to the finals, and that Anthony Davis being healthy is their ticket. They're a team in the Windy City right now that thinks Anthony Davis is our ticket to the finals. We can go to the finals. Atlanta thinks they can go to the finals with him. Toronto probably thinks they can go to the finals with him. They're the favorites. Atlanta thinks Detroit. They can go. If he ends up in Detroit, they all think they are him. So the same conversation that we were having about OKC and LA earlier, the desperation of the buyer becomes the advantage of the seller. The Mavericks have the best player in the league, not named Giannis Antetokounmpo, that is currently available. He is 32. He will soon be 33. With an injury history like that, there is always the potential that he turns an ankle, has a year where he's out, and now you're sitting on a 34-year-old coming off of season-ending injury. It is a big risk to take. It is a $55 million contract. He is the 5th highest paid player in the league. There is absolutely no way you say no to a desperate win-now move from a Detroit Pistons or Atlanta.
All right, well, let's play devil's advocate.
Jordan,
Let's
just
play
real
devil's
quick,
advocate.
somebody,
Why isn't it a
Drake
risk?
said, hold on, Jordan. Drake said $5 super chat, relevant to the conversation. I just think trading AD before seeing him and Kyrie play would be a huge mistake. Adding Kyrie to a defense that good will change everything. So there are some fans seemingly on the same side.
I would love to see Jordan, what they look like with Irv in the lineup.
That trade.
I would just love to see what they look like with Irv in the lineup, with AD in the lineup, with PJ in the lineup, with Clay in the lineup, with all of the. I want to see what this group would look like and what if the plan that we had originally, if it could work. I would love to see that.
So what do you think this team, like if you're looking right now, what are the chances if the Dallas Mavericks like sticks to it? They don't trade away people, Derek Lively's still hurt, and they don't trade for it.
Well, it doesn't look good right now. No, it doesn't.
What is the chance that they, if I were to bet you right now, what are the chances that they win the championship or beat OKC? Is there anyone that would take anything?
They might not even make the playoffs. What are we doing?
Exactly. Like I know we're talking. It's a
That's
long
not my
shot
point, though. That's not my point, though.
And I know we like to see things we have developed, but I think me and Penn's point here is more that it's so unlikely that this will ever work for them to win a championship. That's because our other option
if he got traded for anybody else, Jordan, we wouldn't be having this conversation. If he didn't get traded for Luka,
it's a sunk cost.
He's also not played a lot of the games. He's not played a majority of the games too. That's part of the conversation.
So why would a team offer him what y'all think they're going to offer him? That would be my question to y'all.
Because Davis is a really good player.
Just for information,
think about this from a finance perspective and not a basketball perspective.
The same thing with the trades. Like it's the same risk if I trade for him.
What
if I trade for AD and he get fatter? Like, so why wouldn't a team offer max value? Like, why would a team offer max value for the same issues that you're having? That's why I say let's play devil's advocate. Because
we're arguing this from different angles. Chill and Jordan, I think you're talking about this as basketball fans. You want to see this 3 great players play together, and I think that that's fair. I think I'm looking at this more from a asset management business standpoint of what's the cost, what's the cost of risk analysis here. And from a risk management perspective, Anthony Davis is a walking red flag, bro. And there is a golden opportunity to trade him right now and get something of great value. You're not going to get what you got for Luke. You're not going to get Luka back. It ain't coming back. So the sunk cost fallacy that Scoot is talking about here. I apologize if I've mispronounced your name there. Is that correct? Drago? My God, man.
It's always going to be that, though, Penn. Like what you keep telling me is that, we already traded Luka, so let's just get past that.
It has nothing to do with Luka. Luka is
not always going to be attached.
We can't get Luka back.
Just to add context to the conversation, everyone. So this came out just on the 11th, so yesterday. This is from NBA Insiders on ESPN. Bobby Marks has a lot to do with this, obviously. Just for context, everyone, and I want to ask, does this change anything for you all? So he is eligible. Anthony Davis will be eligible to sign a 4-year, $275 million extension on August 6th. That will pay him $76 million at age 37. Without an extension, Davis could decline his $62.8 million player option and hit unrestricted free agency in 2027. So, Jordan, knowing that information, he's eligible for, again, $275 million this summer. If they don't extend him or if he doesn't like the terms, he can then play next year and walk. What would you do if you're the Dallas Mavericks, given that you have this player on the roster who is a top, when he's healthy, I think top 10, 12 player in the league, and he's one of the best defensive players and best post players in the NBA? Would you give him, he's going to ask for the max, would you give him the 275? How would you work that out?
I wouldn't give him the 275 right now. I would keep him on the roster, though. Like, I'm keeping him until...
No, so that's what I'm saying. It's not till next summer. So he would have next summer you sign him or you don't sign him. Then he has 1 more year. So you either sign him and get a 4-year
You said
extension on top
August
of that year.
6th. So August 6th this
Of
year?
next
He's
year.
able to sign?
Next year.
Of 26.
so not
of 26.
Yeah, so of
Okay.
2026, August 6th, you can sign him to a 275 extension. But the problem is that if you don't sign him to an extension that he likes, he will not sign, and then he can just walk summer 2027.
The 26-27 season will be his last year.
Could be his last year in Mavericks if you don't sign him.
Yeah,
How
that's
would
so-
you handle that?
what we're saying.
I'm gonna handle it just like this. I'm not. First of all, he gonna be just. I'm gonna take the risk of him walking. I'm gonna just take the risk of him walking. But I'm going to keep him and Kyrie together. I'm going to keep him and Kyrie together because if it works out and he's playing good, we can come back to the table and always negotiate in good faith. Just bottom line, like that's just how I would handle it. I'm not committing to $75 million to him, and he's not healthy right now. Like he's not. He's not playing right now. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Or you can do it because any contract can be tradable, to be honest with you. Like, any contract, you can get offset for a motherfucker like Jerry Grant. Nobody wants that piece of shit. But as far as Anthony, and my bad, Jerry Grant, he's not a piece of shit. My bad.
Jeremy
Grant. He's not a piece of shit. But
not Jerry Grant. Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant. He's not a piece of shit, but he's close to it. I'm talking about his contract wise. But as far as Anthony Davis
being the best rotation player in the game, so he's actually been really good this year.
Yeah. As far as Anthony Davis, though, somebody will always take that risk. I promise you, somebody will take that risk. So if I have to pay him, if he say, "Well, I ain't gonna play," I'm all right. Fuck it. I'm gonna get off you though. I guarantee you, I'm getting off you.
275, chill, not chill. You're the AD stand up here. You picked the Mavericks to go to the Western Conference Finals, so he's your Jason Tatum West. So would you pay him 275?
I watched the Warriors extend Jimmy Butler for $120 million over the next 2 years. So
2 years, 4 years, 275, brother.
But chill.
I'm not going that far.
Man.
No,
Context.
Hold on,
I'm not going that far. No,
everybody, hold on. Chill.
I'm not going that far. But what I do, back to reiterate my point, I do want to see what this group looks like. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not just going to let them walk out the front door, though. That's just awful to do that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not just going to let them walk out the front door at the end of next season and whether we win it or lose it. No. I'm not doing that. But I do want to see what this group looks like. And if I feel like, because at any point I can move off of them. But I'm not just going to let him walk out the front door, and I'm not extending him for $275 million.
Remember, Chill, when you're arguing with superstars and you're deliberating contracting, everybody can attest to, it's really difficult in their mind. I'm still this level. He's a 25-10 player still through this point. Not paying me $275, there's no option. I'm not taking less than that. Remember, even Melo, his last year deal he has the Knicks, he took a 5-year instead of 129. He took a 5-year 124. Which was like a $5 million discount that he conceded on. So in this instance, do you think you can convince Anthony Davis to take anything less than 275?
Not in Dallas, I can't. No, not in Dallas.
So how many? How? What is that? $75 million a year?
So 275. Yeah. So it'll be four. Yeah, let me see, 224.
Close to 275.
It'd be exactly 68.7.
68.7. So here's some fun math for you. Over the last 6 years, Anthony Davis is averaging 44 games played per year. That expected, if historical trends hold up with big men, is expected to go down. So you will pay $68 million for a player to expect to play around 38 to 40 games a year. That value cannot be understated. I love how we do the if healthy. Also, to the point of no contract can be moved. I will remind you, Joel Embiid's contract extension has not kicked in yet. And we are talking about medical retirement. So, yes, Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard, we just went through this. We saw two of the biggest contracts ever stretched and waived in NBA history in the same offseason. I think right now, with the full appreciation of the CBA, with the full appreciation of the second apron restrictions, no team that is conscious, no team without an immediate championship need is signing Anthony Davis to that long-term deal through age 37. Jimmy Butler is a very, very specific example, Chill, that you gave, and I guarantee you that is context dependent on extending Steph's championship window and the inherent value that Steph brings to Golden State.
Is it ridiculous?
So, hold on, chill. Really,
it's not Jimmy in a vacuum because Miami Heat didn't want to play that.
That's not what I was saying. That's not that.
Just for the sake of time, I want to give everybody also the examples of the trades so everybody can see in the audience. And then what we'll do here, y'all, we'll finish this AD conversation out.
Sure.
Do some more crunch time chats, and then we're going to get into the actual NBA Cup semifinals because I want to hear all your predictions on that. That way, the audience loves listening to all of your great content. First off, Pin, Chill, Jordan, that was a phenomenal segment. You all did a great job. Damo, twice today, you dropped some absolutely amazing takes today. So if this was first take, you would have a grade A so far, Damo. Appreciate it. Great time today. So if we're looking at where we are right now and some of the AD trade proposals, Pin, I'm going to read through these, and then we'll get a little bit of a reaction. So this is from ESPN. The first trade proposal was the Pistons get Anthony Davis for Tobias Harris, Jaden Ivey, and Ron Holland. Group, how do y'all feel about that one?
Hell no. Why would I do that?
For who? If you're who?
The Mavericks. No, you're not finna give me no goddamn Tobias Harris and goddamn Jaden Ivey and Ron Holland. Ain't no way you give me that.
I don't hate the Jaden Ivey. Two young guys, Ivy and Holland. I don't hate that.
Tobias quietly,
because that's essentially what we're doing. That's essentially what we're doing. We're moving on with young guys, right? Tobias Harris, I think we can move him and put him in a separate package later on. But with Jaden Ivey, who's still a young guy, and Ron Holland, who's still a young guy, because you're moving off of Anthony Davis because you want to go younger, and you're starting over because you got Cooper Flag. If I got Jaden Ivey and if I got Ron Holland, these are young guys that I'm moving on with. So
you got to pay Jaden Ivey though, Cho. Jaden Ivey is extension eligible.
Okay,
and it's worth noting that if he does well, with Dallas, he's a restricted free agent, and you're going to have to pay him the next contract. So we've already seen his draft class start to get contract extensions. Paolo got a contract extension, same draft class. Chet got his contract extension. Keegan got his contract extension. Jaden Ivey don't have a contract extension.
But he's not he's not going to be as much as those guys that you just named because of the fact that he's been so injured or whatever it is.
What if he plays super well? But what if he plays super well?
That's fine. You still don't have to pay him everything in the world based off that 1 year. You have to pay him something. That's you getting him off of a discount deal. If he has a great year, we're talking about a new Brunson deal, in my opinion. The first Brunson deal. Not the second.
I think if he has a great year and he convinces enough people that he is actually the player that they thought he was at the draft, like the super speedy, bursty, lead initiator, combo scorer, whatever, I think he could command anywhere from 25 million up. So you're not exactly getting. You're not going to keep him.
That's getting him on the cheap. That's actually getting him on the cheap.
I think that's expensive for what Jaden Ivey has proven so far. You're buying on upside, but
I mean, he was almost 19 a game last year before he broke his leg. He was close to 19 a game.
He's restricted though, so.
Yes, he is restricted, so you will have a right to match any offer. But I mean, really, I think these high lottery picks
was DeAndre Ayton, by the way.
Pardon?
The last offer sheet that anyone signed was DeAndre Ayton, which the Suns didn't match.
That is fair, but that's typically because teams like to take care of their guys before they hit restricted free agency.
Drago, do you want Jaden Ivey to go out and find out what his worth is and then match whatever deal? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think it's very unlikely that he gets any deal he's going to sign from another team because it's not really happening right now in the NBA. The restricted free agency, because of how it is that you have to shore up your cap for 4 days, I think it is, maybe it's 2, on Jaden Ivey, and then you can't go and try to sign someone else in case the Mavericks wouldn't match it. So
well, we'll get to the next one. So that's the first one, y'all. I don't hate that one. That's definitely not a huge return, but I do like Ivy and Ron Holland back there. The next one is one that I think is interesting, you all. So this would be a 5-team trade. This would be the Hawks get Anthony Davis, Jonathan Kuminga, Buddy Hield, and Devin Carter. The Mavericks will get Zach LaVine, a 2026 first-round pick via the Warriors, top 14 protected, otherwise 232 second-round pick, 31-50, and 2027 first-round pick via the worst of the Bucks or Pelicans.
We getting jerked, yo. Dallas is getting jerked.
The Kings would get Trae Young and Luke Kennard. The Warriors would get Kristaps Porzingis. The Pistons get Doug McDermott and cash consideration. So the Hawks trade would be Anthony Davis, Jonathan Kuminga, Buddy Hield, and Devin Carter. How do y'all feel about that trade?
It'd be good for the Hawks, for the Mavericks, getting trash again. I'm not getting nothing from Zach LaVine.
Do you see this?
Trash.
It's
Come on, man.
He's
We could do
headlined
better.
by
For Anthony
garbage cans.
Davis,
You see it,
we could do
Swiper?
better than that, Swiper. We could
Wait,
do
you
better
get a
than
worse?
Zach LaVine.
You get the worst between the Bucks and Pelicans?
This is a terrible
do
deal
better
for the
than that.
Mavericks.
That's a terrible.
do
Zach
better.
LaVine is a great guard.
What are we talking about?
What's wrong with
Swiper,
Jokic?
Zach LaVine was playing like
If
straight
they're
garbage.
blowing this,
I'm
if
losing
they're blowing
Anthony
it up,
Davis for Zach LaVine.
Damo, what'd you say?
if they're blowing it up, we just sat here for the whole damn segment talking about how much they need to just move off, think about the future. Okay, bet.
Yep.
You now get another first round pick, top 4 protected. So anything from 5 down in 2027, you get a 20, what looks like it's going to be a 20, another 26 pick right outside the lottery, because I think the Warriors are going to be outside the lottery team. Now you add another pick. You add a pick for next year. You get a guy like Zach LaVine, who, again, can be moved down the line for anything. You're taking a loss. We just sat here and talked about Anthony Davis only playing 44 games. Anthony Davis, he's not going to be able to last. You're banking on this. That it's already a loss here. So now you're just trying to get anything you can to build other assets or other prospects around Cooper Flagg and the other 2 rookies you get from a generational draft class, a draft class next year. And who knows who else we move in this? I don't know. I don't think that the Mavericks are jerked in this situation.
I think they're jerked.
Okay,
They
so
don't
wait.
want to trade
Stop
Anthony
right there,
Davis.
Damo. So let me make sure I'm getting this correct, Damo. So the Warriors top 14 pick protected, which means that we're not getting a lottery pick if the Warriors make the playoffs. So now that means that leaves us at anywhere between 15 to whatever, or a 2. That's number 1. And then Milwaukee or the Pelicans next year, who you love, by the way, in Derek Queen and this kid Fears. You love those 2 guys. What you loving those 2 guys? What happens next year? I don't know. If the Pelicans end up to be good, and they end up with I don't know, the number 3 pick. Oh, I'm sorry, they end up bad, and they end up with the number 3 pick. We don't get that pick.
But then you get the Bucks pick.
It's the worst of the Bucks and Pelicans. It's a guarantee. You're still getting a pick. The point is getting a pick. When you don't have anything, getting something, getting in the draft is important.
So if both the
Desmond
Bucks,
Bane
so
just
both
went
the
for
Bucks,
5 first-round picks.
Wait a minute.
There's
So if
no
both the
way
Bucks
it's
and
gonna
if
be-
both the Bucks and New
Not
Orleans miss
really,
the
but
playoffs,
kind of.
and they both end up with
4
top
plus
3
1.
picks, we don't get any of them because they top 4 protected.
All right, next one, just to look and get through
Who's
this.
that guy next to that picture? It's kind
Is we got the Raptors. I like this one. I looked at this one, thought this was very interesting. The Raptors get the best player. The Raptors would get the best player they've had since Kawhi. The Raptors would get Anthony Davis and Tony Bradley. The Mavericks would get R.J. Barrett, Jakob Poeltl, Jarris Walker, Ochai Agbaji, 2026 first-round pick via the Raptors, 2027 first-round pick via the Pacers, top 14 protected. So this one would be unprotected. And you would get R.J. Barrett, Jakob, Jarris, and Ochai Agbaji. The Pacers would get, hold on, let me read to the trade. The Pacers would get Daniil Gafford, or Daniel Gafford, however you want to say that one, because Daniil Hunter, Daniel Gafford. Warriors would get, and then this is the next one. So you would get, the Pacers get Gafford, the Mavericks get R.J., Poeltl, Walker, Ochai, 2 first-round picks, 1 unprotected, and Anthony Davis and Tony Bradley to the Raptors. How do we feel about that one?
Love it. I love it for the Mavericks. I've not been mad at any of these trades for the Mavericks, in my opinion.
I think me and Penn think he's going to go for more than this, to be clear.
I'm saying this as a Raptor fan up here. See, I don't mind wearing the super fan tag here. I hate this. I hate this. I'm perfectly fine getting off all this
What's swaying you, Penn? What's the problem with this trade? What don't you like giving up?
The picks. What are we doing here? Like, okay, maybe with Anthony Davis, if healthy. I mean, we are getting off
1 unprotected.
For the guy who was just arguing about the value
And a 2027 protected from the Pacers. So you got that pick in the Pascal trade, right?
No. That pick has already been traded back to the Pacers via the Pelicans. So we traded it to the Pelicans for Brandon Ingram. They traded it in the NBA Finals to the Pacers because they're idiots.
No, that was
yes. No, yes. The 2026 first round pick was traded.
not the
So the
To make this work, they would have to throw a sweetener in. Okay, I hear you. But Anthony Davis and bro, let's think about this. Scotty Barnes, Anthony Davis, Brandon, Emmanuel Quickley, Dick, with the rest of that roster, that'd be a really good team. They can win
That's
these.
his name,
That'd
Jordan.
be a
Just so
really
you know,
bad
Jordan.
trade for the Mavs. Remember,
That's his
Remember
name,
Brady.
Jordan. Just so
Wait,
you
wait,
know.
wait.
Show
Brady.
me that trade. Show me that trade one more time.
You focus,
I got you.
please.
Yeah, Swipe, but this ain't about the other team. Remember, it's about the Mavericks.
That's
Not
a
about
great
maybe
get for the
You know what?
Mavericks.
This is a home run. This is a home run trade for the Raptors. Unfortunately, I think it is a home run trade for the Raptors. I don't really care too much about the 2026 pick. We're going to be a playoff team. RJ Barrett is not like Jakob Poeltl's contract is awful. I just want to throw that out there. He is not a top 10 center in the NBA right now. I don't see why the Mavericks do this. He's not.
Exactly.
He's not. The Raptors came out and said he's a top 10 center in the NBA. I think he's not even a top 20 center right now.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean you don't know why the Mavericks would do something like this? Again, this would be on the terms of what you're saying in terms of just moving on and preparing for the future.
Yeah, but these are not high value picks. These are not high value picks.
It's just about getting picks. You don't need it doesn't have to be high value if you don't have anything. You just need to acquire more assets. We just sat here and said they only have one 2026 pick, which is theirs. You need to just acquire assets however you can. We got to stop worrying about high value picks.
No, Damo, like I understand what you're saying, and it's interesting because like when you talk about basketball,
Draco, how do you fight that?
I hear a lot of
You
Sam
telling me that
Presti
Anthony
in
Davis
what you're
is damaged
saying,
goods,
right? Because Sam Presti believes in like taking multiple
What do you think
stabs
you're getting
at
for
like
him?
many draft picks. I'm saying if I'm trading a top 15 player, which I think most of us can agree Anthony Davis is, to a team that is desperately looking to make it to the finals this year, because they got Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Anthony Davis. That's the best big three in the Eastern Conference, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, if they're healthy. But the if they're healthy part scares me as a Raptor fan. I'm saying if I'm a Mavericks, I want at least one really quality asset coming back. I need a young player like Asar Thompson. I need Asar Thompson. I need a Cason Wallace. I need maybe not Cason Wallace. No, I need an Asar Thompson. I need a Jalen Johnson. I need something. Like I'm not getting Jalen Johnson now because he's ascended. But like I need something big. Or I need a pick that is going to be a lottery pick this year. Or I need like unprotected going forward. Yo, Damo, you saw that trade that the Brooklyn Nets did with Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, right? That deal killed
highway robbery.
Killed the Nets, right? The same thing. You want the other teams risk, like you don't want these protected top 4 teams. You know what I mean? You be waiting for years for this shit to convey. Like there's protection on protection on protection. Like you be waiting for a while. So I need you to remove protections, at least get me the top 3 protected. That way, at least I could maybe get something out of it. I can get a 7th pick, 8th pick. You know,
they did just say you just said AD's value was in the gutter. So I mean, Asar Thompson,
and I would just say
Asar Thompson is
they're not in a situation.
What do you mean? That's you're not giving up a blue chip player in that deal for Anthony Davis. Asar's a blue chip. Damo, I want you to answer this one because you've been closely following the Warriors for some years now. So the Warriors get Anthony Davis and Mason Plumlee. The Mavericks get Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga, 2026 first. Lakers get Buddy Hield. Hornets get Maxi Kleber, Dalton Kennett, and cash considerations. How do you feel about this one, Damo?
This is the least favorable trade in terms of all the ones I've seen. And I'm just speaking from the Mavericks point of view. This is probably my least liked trade. I just don't. Coming off of AD getting Draymond. I mean, you know what? Now that I'm talking to myself about it, I lied. I actually like this deal. I love this. This is not my second favorite deal. I love this.
That's not lying. That's just reconsidering. That's all it is.
I'm really thinking about it again. The position that the position that the Mavericks are in, you have again. You're getting another 2026 pick in a very loaded draft class. I'm going to do the air quotes for people. You also get a Draymond Green who is going to be clearly ushered into vet mode, pushing younger guys forward, helping Coop Flag, helping the 2 guys you're going to get in this draft. Cool. You also get Jonathan Kuminga, a guy who can be a very good piece that ages well next to the young guys. I mean, I'm not mad at this. Again, we're coming from the lens of we're done with Anthony Davis, and I'm viewing it as we need to get something for him rather than nothing. Because the way Penn was talking about AD in that last trade scenario, that's why teams end up in the situations that they're in with unmovable assets, because you ask for too much. You're trying to hustle everybody. And the problem is everyone looks at previous moves or looks at other deals and says, well, if Desmond Bane can go for 5 picks, if the Nets can get a generational amount of assets for their picks, I should be able to. You're not them. You have Anthony Davis, who you said yourself played 44 games, and if we're following the trends to be true, it's only going to decline from here. So Anthony Davis is damaged goods. You're looking at him as damaged goods, so you have to get whatever you can back. You cannot play
in the desert, Damo.
You can't play, but you can't play that game. You're not in a position to play that game. You don't have draft assets. You can't. You have a damaged good.
No.
You have a depreciating
top
asset.
15 player, and you have 6 teams in the Eastern Conference who think they can make a finals run. That's the scenario. That's the whole scenario. Every team we're talking about right here are the teams I'm talking about. Atlanta, Toronto, Detroit. These are the teams that think realistically they're an Anthony Davis away. Why did Desmond Bane and Mikal Bridges go for what they went for? Precisely because the teams that traded for them thought they were maybe closer than they really were. Desmond Bane was considered as the solution to unlock Paolo and Franz, and you overpaid for it because that Memphis wasn't eager to move off of him.
All right,
Paul George went for all those picks because the Clippers were eager to sign Kawhi Leonard. This is leveraging another team's desperation to extract maximum value, is not playing hardball or whatever. It's just being smart.
Mars, and I want your comments on this next one, Capin. I actually think I like this one the most that we're about to see right here. So chill. Anthony Davis goes to the Spurs. Mavericks get Harrison Barnes, Keldon Johnson, Luke Cornett, 2026 second-round pick via the Jazz, 2028, 29 second-round picks via the Bulls, and they extinguish a 2030 first-round swap right. So that means the Mavericks will get the rights back to their pick. So you get Harrison, Keldon, and Luke, 3 starting level players. Najee. And then the Bulls would get Najee Marshall to that trade. So 3 teams basically you get role players here, and then Anthony Davis to the Spurs. How do y'all feel about that one?
I ain't trading Najee Marshall.
Mars, how you feel about that?
For who? Dallas?
Yes.
I just wouldn't trade Anthony Davis. If this is what I'm being offered, I just wouldn't trade him.
I just didn't know Danny Ainge worked in San Antonio because they're just able to trade for whoever all-star, superstar level player and give nothing back in return. I didn't know that's how I was rocking in San Antonio. Jesus Christ. First De'Aaron Fox for a box of cookies, now Anthony Davis for a box of condoms. This is crazy.
Why condoms out of all things, though?
Can I ask
there's so many things you could have traded for. Why condoms?
I'm just thinking about what I grab when I'm at the store, man. My fault. I'm sorry. I gotta go to the store.
That's a bad combination right there.
A bad combination for a great night.
Multiple children, by the way.
Swiper, can you go up to the Detroit one again?
I don't need more.
So, Penn, you seem to be kind of in the Detroit one. Penn, you seem to think this is low, and I kind of agree with you. If you were the Pistons right now, and I said I need to get 2 first-round picks, would you give me that in this trade?
No, because we have Isaiah Stewart and we have Jalen Duren, and we really don't need to gamble on this. Like, I understand that it would kind of like shore up our chances a little bit, but I actually think it has the potential to disrupt what we're already doing. And we're this super young team, and we're building with all these young players. And I know we're not going to be able to pay all of them, but Anthony Davis is going to be hella expensive with Cade Cunningham on a supermax. That 2 players, their whole roster.
Which team would you, if you were a team, would you trade for Anthony Davis?
I would trade. Okay, let's see. Go down the Eastern Conference.
This is why I said earlier, playing devil's advocate will work against you. Because everything you said Anthony Davis was, now you're playing as a GM on the other team, and you're saying the exact same thing.
Sorry, what?
Everything that you said, why the Mavericks should get rid of him. Now, as a trade on the other team, now that you're not the Mavericks GM, you're saying the exact same thing.
So here are the teams that I think should potentially consider trading for him. The Atlanta Hawks are one team. The Chicago Bulls are the second team. The Minnesota Timberwolves are the third team. And I was about to say the Lakers are the fourth team. I can go with Denver Nuggets being the fourth team.
Yeah,
Neither one of those teams, to me, have anything to give up that the Mavericks would have.
That's just simply not true.
I think Chicago. If you could get Chicago draft picks, I would.
If Chicago would be willing to include Montes Buzelis, that is the lowest form of a blue chip prospect.
They wouldn't give that up.
Montes is not having a great season.
Hey, Swiper, what's the opposite of yes?
Exactly
What's the opposite of yes, Swiper?
Okay, so let's go through the
Absolutely not. Man, hey, wait, hold on, wait. Oh, Aaron, that would be involving Aaron Gordon and the young players. But hold on, but Penn, could you seem to be low on? Do you think higher of blue chips on the Raptors than you do like Matas and Asar?
Hell no.
Okay, because Matas is not getting traded in that deal, brother. Like that's a future star.
I didn't say he will. I said if they could get him, then that's a deal that I would be happy for in Dallas. Like we're talking about a lot of teams,
right? But the Bulls not giving that up.
Okay, well then they're not getting Anthony Davis.
Exactly, that's my point. That's what I was bringing up earlier.
Sounds like he just needs to stay in Dallas.
Or maybe if the Bulls were willing to give up Kobe White,
to me, Mars.
If they're willing to give up Kobe White, say that
again, Mars. It sounds like Dallas. What?
He just needs to stay in Dallas. So you're not gonna get anything you want from him. You might as well keep him. Like, I don't know.
That's exactly my point. I have a trade argument here. This is exactly my point. Everything that you guys are saying, why the Mavericks should trade him, is everything that somebody else that's going to trade for him and say, well,
everyone's simultaneously saying why Anthony Davis needs to be moved, ignoring that that's the reason why his trade value sucks. But then saying that you need to get good trade value back, like it doesn't make sense. It sounds like the guy's untradeable at this point.
We're trying to work through this right now. Penn. So would you take if I say Anthony Davis for Vucevic, Zach Collins to match the salary, and then I'd say Kobe White. And then I would also say, let's say your pick in 2026, unprotected, top 5 protected, and your top 5 protected pick in 2028, and I can't unprotect swap, a top 3 protected pick in 2030.
So top 3 first-round picks, Vucevic, who's looked lost as hell, and Zach Collins and Kobe White.
Yeah, top 5 protected the first 2 and top 3.
So I'm Chicago in this situation, and you're Dallas?
Yeah.
And you're giving me Anthony Davis? I would have to think about that.
Okay.
I really would.
All right, we're gonna get out of this segment now. We got to move on to X marks the spot. We got some great content. Thank you so much, Damo. Again, appreciate it. Penn, wonderful job today, Mars. Great job, especially in the first segment. Shill, you've been amazing today. Jordan, as always, bringing the energy, and then Yalmar. If you want me to call you Doggo, I will.
I'm gonna take a flight to Atlanta and smack you on top of your head.
You said backhanded compliment. What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mars is standing.
What was backhanded? You've been great today. What you talking about?
Yeah. Always bring it. Look, he's been great. Great analysis. Jordan, great energy today.
The energy has been great. That's part of why you're so good at what you do. The energy's been great, like especially carrying the show. While Mars is up there chilling.
There's nothing wrong with being an energy guy.
Yeah, while the Mars up there chilling, you're counterbalance. See, I got you down here to counterbalance you and Mars. So, like, shout out to both of y'all. Shout out both of y'all. All right, X marks the spot. Damo, thank you so much for this. The Clippers have lost 3 straight games and are now 6-19 on the season. Only the Pelicans have more losses than they do.
Trash.
Brother, is it overchill?
What?
Yes. Yes.
Did you see how they lost the
Sacramento has an identical
Mars. Yes.
Mars, that is the definition of a horrible franchise right there. Like, first of all, and I know I'm gonna spill my beans. I got a video of Nick Batum, sorry ass too. Nick Batum is a part of the worst shit the Clippers could possibly do. If you look at anything that happens bad on the court, look around. I guarantee you're gonna find Nick Batum.
Batum is not meant to be playing in the regular season. That's how you know Batum sucks.
He an old man.
That man Batum meant to be playing 12 minutes a game. Like,
but listen. For the Clippers, first of all, what the fuck was James Harden doing? Like, you just gonna forget you got to come to the ball. That's number one. Number two. Why in the world would you lose a game like that? Like, why? I just don't understand nothing that the Clippers do. I don't understand shit. Sell the cursed franchise. They are cursed.
Sell it.
That's what they are.
Yeah, man. Honestly, the only reason why I put that in there, I had nowhere to go with that. I just love to see Clipper fans in shambles. I love to hate on the Clippers. As a Laker fan, it brings me great joy that over the last 5 years, even with just the one championship in the bubble, even though we moved off of Anthony Davis, even though we have moved off of so many other things and so many other players, I can still hold my head up high and say, I am so thankful we managed to still outdo the Clippers who decided to be competitive when we decided to be competitive. It's great. I don't care who else won a ring outside of LeBron. I don't care anything. The fact that we were able to outdo the Clippers and outlast the Clippers every step of the way brings me joy. That was all that for. That's all
not
that
true. They built a dynasty. The Clippers have built a dynasty. They built it in OKC, but they did build a dynasty.
That is true.
Man, wow. Next one for X marks the spot. My brother Carmelo Anthony says that if he were in Steph Curry's shoes, he wouldn't rank LeBron over him in the GOAT debate. Quote, in Steph's eyes, right? Think about what Steph probably thinks. I don't know, but he probably sits there and said, it's Mike, it's Kobe, and then it's me, right? He's not going to put Bron over himself. I imagine this with the implications given they played so many times in the NBA Finals, y'all. So
I would think if you're gonna put if you're gonna put Mike and Kobe over him, why wouldn't he just put himself first? But I would argue that. But at the same time, like I'm sure he don't think Bron is better than him. Like it's no way he's playing right now and think Bron's better than him. No possible way.
People are apparently mad about this statement. I don't know.
I don't know what they mad about. They talking about Carmelo and hating. I'm pretty sure when Carmelo was playing, he didn't think Bron was better than him. So
people just you say LeBron's name. If you say anything other than LeBron's name and then the best ever, how dare you?
Nah, you can't even say that. If you say LeBron's name, you're wrong. Because people are going to disagree with you if you say he's great or greater.
You say anything about Bron, you can't speak about hating or you glaze and just leave it alone.
Either or, there's no right.
I don't think I think what Melo said is like pretty much a nothing statement. Like it's like
it's a nothing statement. 100%.
Like it's not a hot take. It's not a cold. It's just like it's just is what it is. Like I don't know why people reacting crazy to it, but.
Yeah, on this day in history, about 35 years ago, everybody knew that Michael Jordan was better than them.
Probably so. At the same time,
and they acknowledged it. They said he's the best player in the world. Larry Bird said that's the best player in the world. Magic Johnson said that's the best player in the world. Charles Barkley said that's the best player in the world. Patrick Ewing said that's the best player in the world.
Yeah, they say it on camera.
Why do we never give them like? Why don't we never judge them for being like not competitive? Like everyone said they had that dog in them in the '90s. They was calling that man Black Jesus while he was playing.
I think it's you out of their era, though. I think it's because he's out of their era. Like,
they're just realistic.
Nah,
they can say things on camera. You ask Larry Bird, no cameras on, no microphones on. I guarantee.
Bust Jordan ass.
Yeah, I feel like Magic would say that. I feel like Magic would say
it's not.
Yes,
sure. I'm
why is he saying that?
Sure.
Yeah,
because on camera is a different thing. It's about PR. It's about just understanding like what things are okay and what's not okay to say.
And then Mars, to be fair,
there's probably players in the league today who like when they play against like the Nuggets or OKC, they'll be like, oh yeah, Jokic, best player in the world, or Shea, yeah, we know what he's doing, best player, blah blah blah. And then you catch them behind the scenes, and there's no cameras, there's no mics on, there's nothing that's gonna get traced back to them. Guarantee they telling their friends they're better than them. Guarantee it. Like that's a level of delusion you need if you're gonna be at this level. You're gonna think you're better.
The only person who realistically probably thinks he's better than Jokic.
I know he would say that.
The only
I know in Magic Prime he would say
they're unrealistic.
No, the only
I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Davis thinks he's better than Jokic. He's probably like, yeah, Jokic don't play defense.
Hold on.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like last time I matched up with Jokic in the playoffs, I gave him 30 and 15 or whatever he was averaging. Like I'm sure Anthony Davis, you ask him with no cameras and you're in his circle. He probably thinks he's better than Jokic.
Embiid.
I guarantee Joel thinks he's better than Jokic right now in one day.
Embiid.
He just let me get right. That's what he's thinking. Let me get right. Yeah.
Embiid when healthy. Giannis, Jokic, Shea. These guys probably all think they're the best in the world. And frankly, they probably have an argument, and that's cool. Anthony Davis, maybe. Luka, maybe. That's it. That's the list. That's a whole list. Anyone else outside of that list?
Anthony Edwards guaranteed thinks he's better than Shea. I promise you he
remember I
don't even know Anthony Edwards. I've never met him. I guarantee he thinks he's better than
First of all, Devin Booker probably think he's better than Shea. Like what are we doing? What are we
Devin
doing?
Booker probably
like you think he would pass a lie detector on that?
Defense, I'm a champion.
What's that got to do? What's that got?
That's
It's not
probably
about
what he
passing
thinks.
a lie
I mean, but
detector.
Penn,
It's about
have you
being in front of
have
the
you ever
camera.
have you played sports at like a high level
It's
before?
not about
Like,
logic. It's
I feel
about
like
like
that's
we're
like-
acknowledging it's a
why
level
you
of
ask that,
delusion,
Swiper?
but it's the way
we
I'm
you
asking.
think.
I'm asking. It's a basic question. I think even in high school, like you probably think you're better than somebody if you playing like a competitor. Like that's just how it is. Like I think I'm better than
That's a fact.
boy. That's an all state. I didn't even make all state. I know for sure I'm better than him.
Penn,
His daddy got him that award.
I'm not on the fence about this, Penn.
Just because I
This
play,
is what I want to
Jordan,
say.
matter of fact, Penn, Jordan told me when we were in where were we just at, Jordan? Where were we just at?
New York.
New York. He just told me, despite me playing D1 and all that, I'd be better than you with football. I will be better than you with football. We lined up. That's just how it works.
Exactly. That's
this is
just how
called,
it works.
you know what, Swiper? This is called projection. So when you feel a certain way, you assume everybody else is the same way. I faced up against I faced up against Javon Shepard in high school. And I don't know if you know who Javon is, but he's a really, really great basketball player who played D1. And I guarantee you, when that dude came into the lane, I did not think I was better than Javon, and nobody on our team thought that they were better than Javon either.
How about this, Penn?
Okay,
I
saw Corey Joseph and Javo Joseph in person. I didn't think I was better than them. I didn't think I could lock him down. I wasn't gonna back down, but I didn't think I was better than them.
But let's stick with the highest level of athlete. I am 100% confident. Chamberlain looked at Shaq and said, "I would have ate his lunch if I played."
Oh, easy.
I'm
Easy.
sure of it.
That's a different level.
As much as Jerry
West
talks about Kobe Bryant, as much as he loves Kobe Bryant,
cool.
I'm sure Jerry West is looking at Kobe Bryant like, "I would have bust your ass when I played."
I'll also say it's
So
not
he's
that.
saying that when he was
I
around.
agree. I agree that a lot of these guys think that. There are some people.
100%.
I am one of these things.
There are some people who are aware of their ability for sure.
Exactly. There are some people that I know I'm not better than. There are some people in my league I'm for sure better than that guy. Then there's other guys I'm like, nah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not saying that. Hey,
not
Tijon
glazed?
Salon going into every arena saying he's the best player in the league. Like, obviously, like,
Right.
there's levels to it, but I definitely there's a certain level of like delusion you need to get to any sort of level in sports, even just to play like I'm sure like anyone who played like high school basketball, like if you were coming off the bench, you probably think you're better than the guy starting in front of you.
Mars, I just
Damn.
told you. Mars, I just told you
Like-
we had 5. Look, chill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Division I guys in our start lineup. Do you know what the other 5 guys on the bench were saying?
I'm
I can
better
do
than
that
him.
shit. I can
I'm
play. I
better
can
than
do
him.
that. Like we literally
So
had
that's just
fights
how
in
it
practice
goes.
because
Like, it's
we
not
are
that deep.
saying I'm
Yeah.
better than you. You can't guard me.
All right,
I'm
we got to move on, but yeah, I think
Right.
that's pretty
I
standard
feel you.
for like just the way athletes think. I think Damo to this day feels like that. If he can take anybody in the YouTube.
Oh yeah,
TV
Marquise
and
Chris
basketball.
still can't get with me to this day. I still feel like that. Since high school,
Nah.
I played.
Shit up.
I played Marquise Chris in high school. I said it then. He can't really get. He's just tall. He can't get with me for real.
Yeah. Hey, my classic chill. What I say all the time? Say it, chill. Go ahead.
Shit.
Shit, dog.
All I know is Jordan, you wouldn't have tied my sneakers in any sport when it mattered the most. So the next one from X marks the spot. Bleacher Report's top 100 players of all time. This is a very long list. Basically, to highlight, they got Michael Jordan number 1, they got LeBron 2, Kareem 3. They got this nonsense right here: Magic with no Larry Bird in sight. Magic, Russell, Shaq, Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, Wilt, Steph, Kobe, Hakeem, Kevin, Oscar, Jerry, Kevin Garnett, Jokic, Dirk, David, and a bunch of names.
Yeah, them 7 picks don't seem too crazy now, huh? 78 all time.
Current players.
I don't understand how there can be such a wide discrepancy between Giannis and Jokic.
I agree. This is not how I have mine at all. And then they have Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden at 34.
27.
There's no way Chris Paul's better than
Isaiah
James Harden.
Thomas
There's no way
is
Chris Paul's
different
better than
from
James Harden. Like,
There's no way John Stockton's
Butler?
better than Chris Paul. There's just I'm still.
Or
I refuse
James
to
Harden.
believe that.
There's
no way Isaiah Thomas better than Chris Paul. But it's
No.
Shout out to these guys, man. Shout out to these
Is Draymond Green that much higher than Clay? I didn't think. I
Oh,
thought
Draymond's
he
on the list. Hey,
Yeah, Draymond way too
Draymond
low, though.
better than Tatum.
Draymond way too low. You know it. Way
Hey,
too
Draymond on
low.
the list, but my demon Manu Manu did 75. All right.
But you know what's
Hey,
funny?
Tony
If-
Parker,
if-
86.
Again, these
Something
lists
like
are all whatever. But oh, by the way, this chat, can y'all see this? Is this too far away? Do I need to
What's
view
the
it?
most egregious pick here?
Joel
Russ
Embiid at
Westbrook?
66. Joel
Russ
Embiid at
Westbrook at
66.
48.
Joel Embiid
he's
at
too high.
because there's
Way
Draymond
too high.
at
Top
88.
50? Westbrook
Man,
top
Russell
50? Are we
Westbrook top
serious?
50.
I'm just gonna let George
Stop
Mikan
it.
at 44.
Patrick
slide and be
Ewing
like,
is
cool.
40th.
Yeah, Westbrook definitely better than Patrick Ewing.
I'm so sure George Mikan is better than Anthony Davis. I'm so sure. Yeah.
Steve Nash at 35 is insane to me.
Go up
It
a
is
little
way
bit.
too high for Steve Nash.
Facts,
Draymond,
that's
Why?
way too low. Facts, that's way too low.
Draymond at
Way too high for
88
Steve
is
Nash.
crazy
You know,
to me.
Joe
And
Dumars-
Paul Pierce at
Joe Dumars is better than
49.
Lenny Wilkins. He better
Steve
than
Nash
Johnson.
better than
He
Tracy
than Thompson
McGrady?
Billups, too.
A lot of these
Oh,
people
Steve
are better
Nash,
than
Steve
Tracy
Nash above
McGrady.
those tours. I'm looking up. I'm seeing Charles Barkley. Yeah, Steve Nash better than him. Two
Whoa,
MVPs.
whoa.
Yeah.
There's
Oh
guys
my
behind
God.
Tracy McGrady that should be ahead of him. Is Tracy really better than Melo? Let's talk about
No,
Yes.
Paul Pierce ain't better than Melo either. About time we had that real discussion.
it. A real discussion. Why is Chris Bosh so low?
By the way, if we're just doing talent, this
Chris
guy,
Bosh.
Dennis Rodman over Draymond. Dennis Rodman, 20 spots higher than
Chris
Draymond.
Bosh
Ah,
over Manu Ginobili? Are they crazy?
Yes. Had Chris Bosh not got blood clots, he would have aged like Al Horford in the league. Stop it.
Chauncey
Y'all
Billups-
love-
Chauncey Billups
y'all
better than
love
Tracy
it.
McGrady?
It was a fit.
That I could
So
get
we
behind.
just gonna let
That
Dennis
doesn't
Rodman
count.
be in 20 spots higher than Draymond Green slide.
That
No,
is
we're
crazy.
not. We're not letting that slide.
20
Draymond Green is
spots?
clear as Dennis
Wait,
Rodman.
hold on. Draymond on the list. Where Kenyon Martin at?
Let's okay. I have agenda.
Oh,
I have an agenda.
Where's
That's
Kenyon
crazy.
Martin?
That's crazy, Damo. That's
Where
crazy.
Kenyon Martin at?
782.
I'm
He's at
looking.
782.
Sniper, I have an agenda.
Shout out
Yeah,
Dave
man.
Bing. Dave Bing made the list, man. Shout out to Big Bing.
Damo, to answer your question, where is Kenyon Martin? He is at 782. I have access
okay,
to
that's
his full
called
list.
hate. That's called hate. Yalmar, go ahead.
That's still
That's
too
not
high.
hate.
I
That's reality.
could argue for Draymond over so many players on this list, and it would just lead to people bashing Draymond for not being a number one option.
Yes.
Just spoiler it, I could argue him for anyone up to number 27th guy. I say I could have him higher than that guy. Not the other guys.
Where's 27? Who's 27? Who's 27?
Isaiah
Not
Thomas.
only I say it.
Oh, okay.
You can
okay.
argue
Yes, not
Draymond
the
over
other.
Scottie Pippen.
But no. That's the highest. Dennis Rodman is not 20 spots higher than fucking Draymond Green. Draymond Green is much better than Dennis Rodman. Let's break down why. First of all, people say Dennis Rodman is a great defender. I ain't arguing that. He's a fucking amazing defender on the ball. Draymond Green is the best off-ball defender, instincts-wise, I've ever seen. The best, like
You never seen
basketball
Scottie
IQ.
Pippen play. You are a fucking maniac.
I've seen Scottie Pippen play.
I'm gonna listen to this dude talk, yo. This shit is crazy to me. You are a fucking
I've
lunatic.
seen
Honestly.
Draymond
Prove-
Green.
You are a
prove him wrong.
nut.
Damn,
Prove
you
him
a
wrong.
lunatic.
This
God damn.
fucking guy
Lunatic.
nut when I listen to him talk, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Lunatic.
Why?
I've
What's
seen
wrong?
Draymond
What's wrong with
Green
that?
Stunt to Kevin
What's
Durant.
wrong with that, Chill?
He a better off-ball defender than Scottie Pippen. He a better off-ball defender than Dennis Rodman. Get the hell out of here. No, he isn't.
I mean, Michael Jordan's a part of that too.
Dennis Rodman was the ultimate disruptor. Dennis Rodman isn't a disruptor. He was the ultimate disruptor. The ultimate one. What do you think? Who do you think those guys were who were taking charge? What do you think Dennis was getting those charges from? You think he was getting charges taking charges on the
rotation.
ball? No,
Have
he
you
wasn't.
seen Draymond Green?
Okay, so you know how you rotate? You rotate off the ball. That's how you
Yeah.
rotate.
And do you know
Have you
who's
ever
way
seen
better at
Scottie
that?
Pippen off the basketball?
Draymond Green.
Ever? What the hell am I? I'm losing my mind.
Like Draymond Green has this sixth
Who got the
sense.
first point, Damo?
Oh, man. Chill Town all day.
Chilltown?
wanna
Okay.
say-
Yalmar, you're down 0-1, brother. You better pick it up.
You gotta start yelling. Call Chill a lunatic. Call him a Go ahead.
So this lunatic to my left here, I've seen the other lunatic with a cap here say in his video about Scotty Barnes that what makes you a superstar is that you anticipate things before they even happen. You know who's the best at that in the fucking world ever seen in basketball? It's fucking Draymond.
LeBron James? Oh, I'm sorry.
On the defensive side, when an action happens, he sees it. I've even tagged. If you want to, you can go to that throwback game they made of the Warriors versus where Steph hits 12 threes. There's a Draco FC comment where I list every Draymond player I could find. That man was on Russell Westbrook. I think he forced like 5 misses, 3 of them in overtime. He was on Kevin Durant, blocked his shot. Kevin Durant went off. They put Draymond on for a couple positions. He had like one top mid-range in like 5 positions I saw. He was on Kevin Durant, wasn't Westbrook. He blocked Steven Adams at the rim. He got an offensive rebound on fucking Serge Ibaka. He blocked out Steven Adams on defense. He blocked Steven Adams in a dunk. Like he's making rotations. I've never
Didn't he kick him in the nuts twice?
No, that was
playoffs. I'm talking about regular
playoff.
season game here. Lock in.
Sorry.
Yeah, regular season. Yeah, the Steph's 12 games. You can
All right,
also
Minnesota. Go ahead, chill.
So Dennis Rodman off the basketball, he was able to slide to the corner, taking charges when he was on the other side of the floor, taking charges. Not only was he able to slide, he was able to rotate as a big guy, at 6'8", 6'7", 6'8". He was able to rotate when his guy doesn't have the ball, and he was able to shoot gaps. Dennis Rodman was great in the passing lane. He was fantastic as a transition defender. And in fact, not only was Dennis Rodman great not only was he great as a transition defender, Dennis Rodman actually explained in detail, which is the most important thing when it comes to defense, rebounding. I don't rebound unless I'm off the basketball. That's how I rebound. And Dennis Rodman actually explained in detail how to rebound, how the ball spins off the rim, who's shooting the basketball, how to block out. Dennis Rodman, in terms of off the basketball defense, he was incredible. Draymond Green, him and Draymond Green, there's a clear gap between those two guys. Clear.
all on defense.
Yeah, lock in. Yeah.
Okay.
Rebounds in.
All right.
He definitely not talking about offense.
All right, Jordan, Mars, Damo, who won
Offensive
that?
rebounds in his offense. So I don't know what you're talking about.
You're right. My fault.
It's you. That's
Chill.
Take your chances.
All right, chill one.
Yeah.
All right, Drago, you lost again. All right, unfortunately. But good point. I personally, what was the question, Mars, in the PCL? Was it Yelmar, you might remember. Was it Draymond versus Rodman?
Oh, the one with the MTEL? He lost one where he took Draymond. He took Rodman.
Oh yeah.
What was the question though?
He talked about the Draymond. It was the better.
It was who's the better defender between Draymond and Rodman.
Yeah, but you know what he should have did? I would have went to peak for peak. I would say Rodman had 3 elite peaks. I would have went Spurs. I would have went Detroit, and then I would have went the Bulls. He would have won that if he would have.
You bring up Bulls Rodman to me in a convo with Draymond Green. I'm just gonna say.
Respect.
Spurs Rodman, the one that refused to help on
Pistons Rodman. Yeah, I'll listen to Pistons Rodman. Bulls Rodman is not close.
Hey, chill. They wouldn't have won squat without Dennis Rodman versus Michael Jordan in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'll tell you that right now.
Versus Michael Jordan.
Okay. He's really good.
You bring up Jordan getting locked up. You went into debate personally. No, that's just me though.
I love how y'all bring up this Draymond debate. To ignore everybody.
I saw LeBron average a 35-point triple-double in 2014-15 by himself. I don't care how well he shot from the field. So Draymond obviously couldn't.
You know how well Draymond guarded Bronny?
No. PRA.
I implore people, just go watch Draymond Green and just watch him.
I seen Draymond get dominated by Nico.
Watch that game and you can just see my notes in it if you want.
Dave Robinson would have locked him up.
Yeah, I seen Dennis Rodman guard Shaq. So yeah, there's those.
Draymond guard Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant.
Matter of fact, Arvida's a better interior defender than Draymond Green was at his apex, but we haven't had that conversation.
7'3", 165.
No, 1'6". No, he's not 6'5". He's 6'7", by the way. Longer arms, by the way. Yeah, Draymond had like long, like 6'7", 7 foot arm.
Draymond is
chill. Do it again. Shout out. All right, y'all.
Can you put a poll of that up?
So
what people vote.
If you're not aware, the NBA Cup is happening. Is active. By the way, this has been a great show. This has been a great show so far. Y'all have done a really good job. And for whatever reason, Ron took a day off. Want to lead us to our devices to handle business. So y'all, I don't know if I predicted this. No, I didn't. The New York Knicks are playing versus the Orlando Magic tomorrow at 5:30 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the Spurs are playing versus the Thunder. And there is a chance Victor Wembanyama will be back for that game. That's at 9 p.m. tomorrow. So our NBA Cup semifinal games, Knicks Magic, Spurs Thunder. Who do we think is going to win those games? Who wins the NBA Cup?
Knicks, Spurs win.
I would like the Spurs to make it competitive, but
I'm going Spurs Magic. Spurs win. Best player in the world is gonna, show out.
Damo with this Wemby shit is bugging me out.
Nah. Not even just that. The best player in the world on one of the best teams in the world, because Chilltown, as you know, who did they beat to get there?
Best team in the West. They beat the best team in the
Who
West.
did the Spurs beat to get there?
They beat the Lakers.
With no Wemby. And just a week ago, I was sitting here saying I was worried about my Lakers against competitive teams. No, man, you're right. I'm gonna keep pushing this Wemby propaganda because someone has to, and if no one will, I will, because no one is understanding the fact that
Wemby's underrepresented. Yeah,
he is underrepresented. We still got people saying Shea's the best player in the world, or Jokic can be the best player in the world. Yes, he is underrepresented. If we're getting this stuff up, Giannis best player in the world. Wembanyama is the best player in the world, and he's gonna show it during this Piston Cup. Yes, I'm calling it the Piston Cup.
So you got So you got Orlando and Spurs. You said
yes, I got Orlando and Spurs.
Why is it
Huh?
That's what it is.
What am I missing?
It's just the Piston Cup.
It's the Piston Cup.
It's from the Cars movie.
Don't forget too, Damo got kids, so the Piston Cup is from the movie Cars, so that's probably something that's been embedded in his mind. So that's where you're at. But Damo, to your point, I think the Knicks struggle with Orlando's length defensively. They have. I think Orlando focused, Damo. I think Orlando throws different lineups at them, and when they go with that big lineup of Jonathan Isaac with Carter and Paolo, I think and in addition to them, I think on their wing when they got Anthony Black, who I keep forgetting, Anthony Black is 6'8". I think they struggle with their size, and I just think they struggle with how able this Orlando team is at shooting gaps, rebounding the basketball, and holding teams to one stop. I think Cat struggles with Orlando's physicality from time to time. So I think they could beat them. I do. I think that they could beat them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Brother. I was going to say, it's not every team can deal with length, and that is something that can definitely cause some issues for you defensively and offensive creation and all that. Penn, who do you think is going to make the NBA Cup Finals?
OKC and New York. Yeah, I think the Knicks are really good. And I think missing Franz is the gap here. I think Franz is a really good player. I didn't love how Paolo looked. I think they beat a team that, frankly, is just playing awful basketball right now in Miami. I don't think too much needs to be said about that game. Obviously, the Knicks also beat a team that's playing terrible in the Toronto Raptors. So I don't think either of these teams have really been tested, but they're both playing really good basketball. The Knicks have not really been losing games at all since moving Josh Hart into starting lineup. He is actually on he is on like an Aaron Gordon, arc in terms of 3-point shooting. Like he's just suddenly not a guy you can ignore from three. The Raptors tried ignoring him all night. He made him pay all night.
Who was guarding him?
Who was guarding him? No one, honestly. Scotty left him wide open several times. The Knicks just put so much pressure on you with Karl Anthony Towns inside, Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. You can play hack a Mitch all you want, but ultimately, I think I'll trust the best player in that series in that game, which is Jalen Brunson.
So 9 games at the start of Josh Hart's averaging 16, 10, and 6, 2 steals, 55% from the field, 45% from three, and 88% from the free throw line.
Right, Aaron Gordon numbers, exactly. Same
rebounder than Aaron Gordon.
Yes, he is. So I mean, I just think moving Cat to the center spot has just sort of synergized their whole lineup. And this is not a team that is very easy to beat with OG Anunoby. Like OG is so good. Like I feel like OG is legitimately underrepresented. I feel like Ock's the only one who comes up here and really gives OG his props for how good a player he is. So I think OG gonna put Paolo in a straitjacket.
Can I just say just really quick?
To Scotty Barnes doesn't mean he's gonna do it to Paolo.
He didn't do it to Scotty Barnes. Scotty did it to himself.
No.
He couldn't have got locked up. It was just me. It was my fault.
I just wanted to chime in real quick and just say, since we're on the topic of having the Magic in the conversation, I seen a clip the other day of Chilltown trying to give Mars a little bit of hell for some take on Anthony Black. Yeah, man, Mars, you deserve your flowers because it was us that was sitting here around that time on draft time, telling people about Anthony Black and his capabilities, the things that he can do. You were there first. You were there first because we were there. We were
people trying to rewrite history because I said I didn't believe in pull-up shooting.
Love the rewrite.
No, Mars, you do.
No, because I'm not gonna lie, that segment you guys annoyed me. I rewatched.
No, Mars.
Saying
that was the
Anthony
last
Black breakout player of the year. This man was saying, Anthony Black's developed as a pull-up shooter. I have to go look at the numbers. No, the hell he hasn't.
There were 9 points made. That was the last one.
7 of them were shooting related.
No. That was the only one he didn't do. That's the only one he isn't doing. This man Mars is an unadulterated.
I rewatched.
Look at me when I'm
not gonna get rage bait this time.
Unadulterated hater. Because I picked Anthony Black for my breakout player of the year, and I've been right. But Mars, you're right. The shooting has not been there.
I rewatched that segment. You guys successfully rage baited.
Damo, I loved Anthony Black coming out of college. I thought he was. I'm one of those people.
The segment Showtime was talking about this.
I
don't think he understands the game yet.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think he's a high IQ.
Which player. I didn't think that he understood the game, but I thought that he was going to be really good.
I did. Once he learned,
at the time, you had a lot of questions. You had a lot of questions at the time about him and who
he
he
had
would
only
be.
played 1 year. He had only played 1 year at Arkansas. Yep, he had only played 1 year. But I dug his upside. I 100% dug his upside.
It was very different.
I'm just saying.
I remember I was very high on Anthony Black.
I'm not saying yeah. Just in terms of what was going on at that time, there were two panelists that were really high on Anthony Black at that time. We're right here. We're
apparently I'm just a bad guy because
just wanted to put that there.
Whatever.
Wasn't on the panel,
but it's cool.
Very
it's
high
cool.
on
The
him
videos
well.
are online. You can go listen to why Swiper said Anthony Black would be the breakout player of the year. And you actually see when Swiper picked Anthony Black,
I just made it up.
You'll see me make the face of, oh, that's a nice pick.
No.
And then he explains it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's but it's
so
cool.
I'm right. So you can win breakout player of the year for PC this year?
I doubt it, especially when we see Demon Ryan Rollins. But it's cool.
Yeah, Ryan Rollins ain't getting no votes, bro. Once you honestly the team like watching those games.
That's gotta be colorist.
It's one vote. It's one vote at least, but it's cool. When Jalen Green come back, don't worry. Jalen Green come back. We get reevaluated soon, so stay on that side.
Yamar, who wins NBA Cup Finals preview?
So I'd say obviously OKC are the big favorite. I hope Wemby plays. I do think he could give them some trouble in terms of scoring. Just if we get like a real playoff type feeling where he can just lock off the rim, that could be very interesting. But he's probably going to be in the minutes limit. So I'm going to pick OKC, and then in the other game I'm going to pick New York. I think we've seen that when veterans team get into the semifinals, quarterfinals, they usually have a good way of executing, and I think the Knicks is going to do that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of tough for me, Damo, because I'm looking at when you play OKC, you got to have a specific kind of thing to make them work. I'm just kind of like, now Spurs have a lot of ball handling. They do have a lot of shooting. If they can get hot, keep it working. Devin Vassell have a good game. Dylan Harper, I want to see what you got, buddy. See if you can get some stuff going. Javon Castle, you to make your jumpers. Keldon Johnson off the bench. Hey, can Luke Cornett? Can you go bar for bar with Isaiah Hartenstein for a little bit if he plays? That'd be fun to watch. But yeah, if Wemby's there,
changes everything.
Yeah, definitely.
When you have the best player in the world,
everything.
Changes everything. The best player in the world changes everything.
No. That definitely doesn't change.
It's not going to change much.
Well, no. I don't, that's gas too. Both of y'all are gassing in opposite directions. It does change things, but if Wemby's having difficulty scoring, Damo.
If was a fifth, we all be having a good time right now. Listen, I'm in the world of reality, which is when you factually put the best player in the world on the court, more times than not,
so Wemby will look better than SGA tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm stamping it. Y'all heard it here first. The best player on the basketball court, surprisingly, is going to be the 7'5" demigod. I don't know how that's a crazy take. I don't know how that's a crazy take, man.
Does it matter to you at all that he's coming back from a long stretch off, that he hasn't had rhythm with this lineup? He's not really. He's being thrust into.
You ain't got to worry about that.
That might matter for me more.
Like, also, let's just not even rule out the fact that he might not play.
That's fine. If he doesn't play, that changes everything.
Yeah. He's gonna play.
Okay. Well, he is an ultimate competitor, so I know he's gonna play. But respectfully, I thought I was the highest person up here on Wemby all along. I have been usurped. I have been usurped.
Also, you think he's not gonna show up against Chet? You think he's not gonna want to bust Chet's?
I don't care what.
Come on,
okay,
man.
First of all, like the thing is that every team that has had success against Wemby has had defenders like OKC does. The Lou Dorts of the world, the Alex Carusos of the world. These are the types of guys who give him trouble, guys who get into his handle, and he's not strong enough to beat you on the block yet. When he becomes strong enough to beat you on the block, like when he puts up that KG 250, 260, when he can get to that level, okay, game over, lights out, can't stop him. Right now, you could still force him to catch a little bit deeper and make him a jump shooter. And if he can't drive against the dribble, and if they're just poking away at the hands, he's going to have a hell of a game. Dude, I don't know who's going to go for 10 turnovers first, him or Steph Castle, but one of them, together, they're definitely going to do it. It's going to be a group project. They're going to have 15 turnovers together.
So you're saying the Thunder's super team defense is going to be the things that wins them the game?
I think the Thunder right now are the biggest. Like they're a conundrum right now. This team feels like they don't know they're really good. They play every game like they're an underdog that's being disrespected and slept on. Swiper, you've talked many times, and I think it's fair, about Shea having a bit of a letdown playoffs, right? He didn't play his best. The Thunder didn't look dominant. They didn't look like the best team in the world. They looked very vulnerable many times. They looked vulnerable against Denver. They looked vulnerable against Indiana. I think they internalized that very much this summer and kind of said, and they acknowledged it. They've publicly come out and said, we didn't play our best. We didn't have the showing that we wanted. And now we are basically coming back and we're hungrier than ever to prove that there is a very big gap between us and everybody. This San Antonio game, with all the hype, people saying, oh, Wemby, Spurs up next, it's Spurs and OKC. This team, this is bulletin board. I'm telling you right now, they are going to put belt to ass on this team. The Spurs are not ready for the shit that is about to happen to them. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll come up here on Tuesday and I'll be like, poof, my bad.
I mean,
Spurs,
you are glazing quite hard.
I'm not glazing. I'm being realistic. I love this. I think I love the Spurs more than everybody up here. Okay, just put that out there.
Ox did say that he thinks De'Aaron Fox is going to have his way. We'll see, but we do got to get to these super chats for the sake of the time. You all respect De'Aaron Fox. He's the best Kentucky guard to come into the league. Be better than what he would get at SGA when he came out of college. No. De'Aaron Fox says the same thing we just said with Anthony Edwards. De'Aaron Fox looked at SGA and said,
"Is he a top 3 Kentucky guard in the NBA right now?"
Who's all Kentucky? Maxey,
Fox
and Murray.
Fox and
Murray just also.
Oh no, Devin Booker. Oh, we talking about point guard
combos this year, bro.
I'd assume he was from my point guard, but Devin Booker's also this season just been.
Yeah, it's not been great.
He has had a bad year. My fault. I was just thinking.
Started really good.
Yeah, started really nice, and then
so he's not better than Shea. He's not better than Maxey. We can have a conversation with Jamal Murray if you would like.
Not better than Jamal this year.
Okay, so cool. So he's not top 3.
De'Aaron will
he's not a top 3 guard.
He's better than all of them.
Yeah, guarantee it.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Get to these super chats. Chill. We can get you out here in a respectable time. Because he will be gone. G Hermano 41. By the way, Mars, I got a surprise for you, brother.
Oh God.
No. Positive energy, Mars. Positive energy. Chill. Just so you know, as I've been getting ready for the Bad Bunny concert, I am on a 53-day streak on Duolingo. 53-day streak. I have officially been certified. I can put on my LinkedIn that I am a level 1 Spanish speaker, so that I actually can apply for jobs and say that I can, speak beginner.
Oh, there's no if you ever got hired for
no. I'm cooking. No, I can read Spanish really well now. Shout out. G Hermano, 10-pound super chat. Championship fave. I just seen the offensive GOAT, best player in the league, in the world, 2026 MVP, lose to trade block AD, an 18-year-old rookie, an undrafted 5'10" point guard, and Kyrie, PJ Washington, Gafford, and Lively, OKC in 5, SGA 26 MVP. Oh, when the Nuggets lost to the Mavericks, the team lost to the Mavericks. I hear you did.
Because Jamal Murray went out late in the game. Let's not lose the contract.
Well, they also didn't play defense the whole game, but that's Nembhard was 100% from everything in that game. It was a great game. Then we got here King Boss Z7Z. $5. So does the game plan logic only work against the Thunder in the playoffs, Chill? Because we can game plan for the Nuggets as well.
Jokic is on game plan. Apparently.
The reason why I said the game plan against the Oklahoma City Thunder, because they're the champs. That's why. And being the champs, you got to beat the champs.
Love that. Get rid of that one. And then we got a $2 super chat from Knicks man Bob. Before his time, Penn defending swiper. LMAO, go Knicks go. Penn, were you defending me today?
Not intentionally, I promise.
No.
Penn, you said you were turning a new leaf, brother. I think it's about time you completely turn a leaf and say things that are nice. Like, you know what? I didn't intend to initially, but because your point was so salient, I agreed with you in the end and defended you. That is how you phrase that sentence, brother Penn.
Don't be calling me brother Penn.
Why?
Yeah.
Are we not brothers?
No.
Why?
We're not.
We're not friends?
I mean, you're cool and all. I don't know.
If I asked Jordan for brothers, he would just say we are.
Ask him.
Jordan, we brothers for sure. $50 super chat, Uncle Dad. Read this one again. Yo, Ron, you fouled yourself for the title. Cannot wait till OKC beats Nuggets in 5. I don't know why people want OKC to be Denver in 5 so quickly. Another super chat for Penn. We got Reginald Debra, 6241, $5 super chat. I really love when my boy Jennifer Anderson is on the panel. Penn, please don't change. And shout out to Chill. Y'all are too funny.
Okay.
Pennifer Anderson.
Absolutely,
Is that
bro.
one of your many nicknames, Chill?
Chill?
No,
Chill.
it's actually Penn. It's Penn. That's Penn, not me.
Is that
Oh,
one
that
of
was
my
a nickname
many
for
nicknames?
Penn.
And you asking me why we're not brothers? You just answered your
You
own
have
damn question.
Yeah, you have a lot of nicknames on the show.
Penn. That's the only nickname on the show. And short for pensare, which means to think in
Remember
Italian.
Brangelina?
Think about it.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like
Medved Ted, $5 super chat. Refs made it difficult for Jokic, not Caruso, who was blatantly fouling Mars.
That is fair.
Shout out to
But-
Medved. I be seeing him in my comments. He be writing out whole essays about why Jokic is great. So shout out to him. He dedicated for sure. Shout out to him.
He's from our community.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nikola Jokic for getting shut down.
Fun fact about Medved, he is actually from Australia.
Is he?
Yep. Well, Serbian from Australia.
Okay.
DSG Piccolo, $10 super chat. So Chill. We were missing 8 players. No player over 6 down played. No C's except for my GOAT, Dwap Reith, or PGs. Worried Cronin won't make a trade because injuries are easy to blame for the team looking this bad. Portland.
Something's going on with. I mean, I understand that you decimated by injury, and I know the Tamani defense is going the other way. However, the long ball has been expanded. His catch and shoot jump shot, his catch and shoot long ball has actually been really good this year. Really good. So I got to give him credit on that. But I've been underwhelmed by Klingon. I thought Klingon would be better this year. But he has not been. No.
Yeah, me too. I was big on Klingon as well.
I think Klingon's been good.
I don't know
what you guys expected from him offensively. Maybe you guys.
Why'd you put that on the screen, Swiper?
Well, that was another one of your nicknames, and so I was just putting it up.
What I was expecting
Columbus.
What I was expecting from Klingon this year, I was expecting a better finisher around the rim. I was expecting him to expand his game because I remember seeing him being able to knock down the mid-range when he was at UConn. I expected a better transition big this season, but a lot of that stuff, he has implemented some of that stuff in his game. It just hasn't happened as much as I would have liked it to.
Yeah. Next super chat. No longer Gabe, $10 super chat. God comes to you and says, pick one of these players and pair him with either Hallie or Jokic. Who are you picking, James Worthy or Dominique Wilkins? Pair him with Hallie or Jokic.
Hallie with James Worthy in transition?
I'm probably picking James Worthy in both contexts. Probably.
Yeah.
I think James Worthy's better than Dominique, though. So,
big game, James.
Yeah, Michelle. By the way, Penn, there's some really good Pentavious Caldwell Pope is cash, dog. That's a good name. That's a good name.
In 2025, I'd be insulted, Penn. I ain't gonna lie. In 2025, oof.
I don't know if I hate Pentavious. I actually like the name Pentavious.
Pentavious Caldwell Pope. That's when Penn gets in his Scotty bag. I'm gonna call him that. That's a good two-way. That's a good two-way name. That's a good name.
Miles, what do you think the separator was with James Worthy and Dominique Wilkins? I think the ball handling with. I'll let you answer the question.
I think Mr. Potato Head is a good nickname too.
I think James Worthy was just better with the ball in his hands. So I just think he could do more as a self-creator. I think Dominique is more of a play finisher than people seem to realize, which is not a bad thing. But I would rather have someone who I trust to be able to play off the ball, but also get me a bucket in isolation. He's also better defensively than Dominique was, but maybe you could say
he was better defensively than him.
Yeah. A lot better defensively than Dominique. So when you're better defensively, and then I trust you to do more self-creation wise, post up, all that type of stuff, I probably just favor you rather than Dominique's raw scoring volume. But the athleticism and the mid-range stuff from Dominique was still great. So I don't really think you can go wrong.
So it sounds like James Worthy was similar to Dominique Wilkins in terms of a play finisher, except the separator would be him being able to I can clean out the right side of the floor and I can get a mismatch with you against.
The Lakers would go to once Kareem started slowing down, James Worthy was their designated
one-on-one guy.
Go get a bucket. We'll get the ball to you, clear the side, and you go and go.
Next super chat
against Kevin McHale, he went after him.
Break, he 1, 2, 3 and $10 super chat. Jordan, the flaw in your plan is relying on 2 players who historically are injured. It's a higher % chance they'll never be healthy together. It's silly to tie your future to those 2 players, Jordan.
You talking about that?
Yeah, you're talking about the Mavs, but
Sure,
but my counter to that would be once again the trade value is not what y'all think it is for AD. It's just bottom line. It's just not.
And Jordan, how long do we need for you to be healthy? Like, don't we just need you to be healthy, just enough for the regular season, and then we get in the playoffs and stay healthy? Can we get that?
You know, Cooper Flag has played more games for the Mavs than Anthony Davis, right?
You know that. Yes.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, I definitely know that. I mean, shit, AD played 2 last year. Shit, this shit barely played shit this year. So it wasn't hard to beat. It's not hard to beat, Mars, to be honest.
I've been there since February.
Yeah, it's not that hard to beat, but
Bruh, when Sacred works for me, y'all, man, I'm finna come back looking like Jordan next year. About to have a full shadow fade.
Didn't you say you wanted to look like Fabio?
Yeah, that one too. I'm a in between. You better believe.
So you want to look like Fabio and Jordan?
Braids, shadow fades, chill. It's all coming.
Jordan would look. Not Jordan. I'm sorry. Camp. Swipe. People would look wild as hell with locks, yo.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's like Jordan. It's either gonna be a man
if you
or my hair.
Come back with locks and then you start talking about you Nigerian for real, I'm never gonna take you serious.
Hell no. Anything you say, go ahead.
I'm never taking you serious.
Y'all playing, bro. If it don't come back with Sacred, it's coming back with a man weave. I'm gonna have one of them tops put on just like this, Jordan. Full dread. One day later.
Never roommate with you ever again. And by the way, every time we go anywhere, I'm requesting the room.
Bro, just embrace it, bro. Michael embraced it. Kobe embraced it. Shit. Just embrace it.
I have embraced it. I'm also embracing options. Just like women can change their shoes and their hair and all that. I'm gonna change my hair next week. I'm gonna come back with locks.
You hit the nail on the head there.
Unlimited 2.014 $10 super chat. Ant said he thinks he's better than Shane in the interview. All these stars think they're better. That's a fact.
Yeah.
They all do.
There's role players in the league who I guarantee think that
Dylan Brooks.
Have you heard Nick Young?
Dylan Brooks.
You heard
Even Jackson said he better than Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Even Jackson said that.
Yeah, and these are the guys who are willing to say this shit on camera. Now imagine what they think behind the scenes. Like there's things that people think. There's probably people in the chat right now who think that if they have the opportunity, they'd be doing what we do on the panel. And I'm not saying that wrong. I'm just saying this.
You actively said that they
yeah, and I think more of them could. But I think there's a bunch of people who think like some people are just getting opportunities that they haven't been afforded, and that's the only reason they're more successful.
All right, another super chat. Average Joe 1789 $10 super chat. You can consider someone is better or out of your league, but you still think you can take them on. Alicia Keys way out of my league, but give me 8 minutes. I promise you I can get her to leave Swizz.
He flipped into some shit. I had no idea he was going.
I'll bet you $1,000 to $2. You can't.
You can't pull Alicia Keys.
How do you know it?
Why would you?
But he believes he can. But he
don't know my motion.
I believe I can. No, I don't believe I can.
Hey, Jordan, I done shot to the.
Unlike some people, I do not believe the delusional, irrational confidence.
Jordan, I shot to the Raptors before.
Pathway to success, in my opinion, is relentless commitment to reality. Like,
so you don't outkick your coverage in your dating life?
I disagree with that.
You don't outkick your coverage in your dating life?
I think there's multiple pathways.
Outkick my coverage?
Right.
Do I date out of my league?
I don't think there's a right answer to
but see, like, you have no idea what I think my league is. People think I date out of my league, but I think I'm dating right within my league.
Yeah, you got motion. You believe you got motion.
Delusion. Look at
but there's not delusion.
It's work.
If everyone else thinks something about you, but you think something else, that's the same thing as when guys think, Jokic is better than him, but he thinks he's better than Jokic. It's the same thing.
But people think that they're better than Jokic because they think he's fat, tubby, and slow. But anyone who understands athletic testing would tell you he's not unathletic. So just because someone is stupid, like some people think they can get women because they're tall, or because they're good looking, or because they have money. But that's not how you're gonna get
this. Each of those three things increase their odds.
On the main reason.
Tall,
that's a pretty good foundation. Yeah, that's a pretty good foundation.
Hey, Jordan, I didn't before I had money. Tall, built. That worked.
Hey,
tall, built with money.
I'm a living testament.
Tall, that's a
ain't nothing gonna get you women like actual internal confidence, and a lot of people who have big muscles and they work in the gym and they're always posting their workout videos and they think they're all hype and they got showy cars and that's all compensation, and women can see through that. They can sift through that for real. Like they know you're not really confident, and if you're not confident without it, you definitely not confident.
Jordan, he taking shots. He taking aim at me.
I'm not taking aim at you.
I fit all those categories.
I've posted workout videos myself.
I fit all those categories. That's all I'm saying. Chill. Matter of fact, post your calisthenics workout, Chill, so you can call you a fraud. So you overcompensated.
I do not have to post the content.
I'm just telling you, those things might help you on the traditional box list of
I've seen
whatever.
Chill in real life. I've seen Chill in real life, and Chill knows that I will help my brother. I will serve my brother an alley-oop, and he almost caught an alley-oop about 17 years younger.
Chill don't need no help.
No, but I'm saying he didn't need no help. All I did, Jordan, that little shay shove, one of the little shoulder check. That's all it was. That's literally all it was.
Hey, Penn, I'm gonna tell you something. Everything that you're talking about when it comes down to what women look for, brother, you hit it right on the nail, brother. It ain't that complicated, bro. Tall, good looking, money.
You said you got the workout.
All the other shit is fluff. You need those three.
That's not
all right, move on. We gotta finish these super chats.
Pin for the record, being dark skin helps too.
Oh,
that's facts. Talk about it.
There we go.
Being dark skin.
Hey, Pin said it does help us to be dark skinned. And then Cage Black. Hey, bro, I am 100%. Cage Black MC6EF $10 super chat. Just want to say thank you guys for your knowledge you give to those of us who want to understand basketball and take it to other debates with panel. Also, W host and Swiper, you watch anime. What's your favorite? All time, probably DBZ. Right now, Pin, you don't watch this, but this is, I hit Pin up about some film stuff the other day, and I got to respond because there's a show called Vox Machina that's on Amazon Prime. It's phenomenal. It's 3 seasons, and I'm in the middle of season 3 right now. Yama, I don't know if you're in anime or not, but it's a really
I do like anime. I love
really
DBZ.
Yeah. Obviously, everybody grew up on DVD, so that's kind of a cheat. W ball out highlight $10 super chat. Tatum way too low, and if D, Mitch, and Shea switch teams, do they have the same record?
No,
they probably win that Portland game, so they're probably 25 now.
25.
Yeah, man. Shout out. Next super chat. We have, let's see here. Average Joe 1789 $10 super chat. Another one. Shout out OG Chill, Swiper, and Jordan, and Pin too. The rest of y'all can't just be out here letting y'all's mustache and facial hair do whatever it wants. Groom yourself, Kings. Groom yourselves.
We need a shaving sponsor.
You too. Groom yourself.
We need a shaving sponsor. When we get a sponsor, we'll shave.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. The reason why I let my beard grow is because when I cut it, it grows back.
To hide that double chin you got.
That's crazy. I don't have a double chin. But the reason why I let it grow is because when I cut it, it literally grows back too fast and it just gets annoying. So it's just like, shit, why not just edge it up, keep it nice?
Did he put Jordan on that list?
Huh?
Is Jordan, do you groom your beard?
Yeah.
It looks like it.
He has like a brush and everything.
Comb.
Comb, yeah, that's it. Comb, yeah.
I was never able to grow a beard.
Yeah, me too.
Jordan. I could never do that. Like what
you got. I think it just my dad can't grow one either. My dad, I got 4 brothers, only 3 of us can do it.
Like, I couldn't do it.
$10 super chat. In real life time, 98 $10 super chat. Mars, what did Indy do in the finals that broke OKC's defense, and who can duplicate that this year in the playoff? West and East. Mars.
Make the game fast.
I don't think they broke OKC's defense, but I said it earlier. I think just a lot of the motion and off-ball movement and trying to make everyone on the court a threat is probably the best way you can get out OKC's defense. Which is why I always like hearing like the Warriors, like the prime Warriors versus OKC comparisons, because I think just the Warriors system alongside the talent is like the answer to OKC's defense. So that's why I think it's probably the best.
Mars, I will go on a limb. Mars, I would go on a limb too about that Warriors team. I think they smacked the Thunder just because they have so many. Like they insert Sean Livingston, who can literally play in the mid range. He can make tough shots. Like you insert Iguodala, who can create, who can defend, who can knock down shots and play make as well too. Like
Jordan,
Steph,
you can run all of that stuff down, Jordan. We got KD and you.
Joe, you got it.
I mean, I wasn't even talking about just KD. I wasn't talking about that Warriors. I'm just talking about the Warriors without KD when they won.
Now the 15-16 one, now that's different. Yeah, I could get with that.
All right, y'all. So I don't know if y'all understand. We have a beef in the chat that's been going on for a while now between Frank and Burners. Now they sending money at each other. So we got Burner said $2 super chat. Y'all know Frank thinks Draymond is the 27th best ever. Frank then called Burners broke by going 5 times as much money as he said. and said, I'm better than you. And then he said, Burners, you don't have enough money to get into the gold status, let alone the pink status, let alone the red status. So, Frank, Burner said, you so poor, which is not reflective of you're spending money on your super chat, by the way. But Frank basically said, I'm 5 times better than you by sending 5 times the amount of money. That's all I saw. So I don't know what you would do. If I was that, I wouldn't take that personally.
And Frank, if you really want to make a statement, drinksmansports@gmail.com on PayPal.
Look. Hey, she your show, Jordan. She your show.
We got another super chat.
I really talk about it, Frank. I talk about it.
From $5 super chat MP134. If Jokic does it, I don't want to be aggressive gimmick. They're getting blown off the floor. That's the biggest criticism against its offense. Yeah, I agree. When Jokic does that passive nonsense, it definitely is frustrating. But he did not do that yesterday. 36 points in 29 minutes. I wish he did that more often. Yeah, he missed 2 shots. He's been like that all year, man. He's having a crazy season. He's shooting 78% at the rim this year, which is like 9% higher than ever March or something like that.
Jokic?
Yeah, like.
Oh, sounds about right. Yeah.
He's looking at underrated. Nims knows ball. $5 super chat. Swiper will sit up here undermine Shade's impact on the Thunder, then turn around start Pearl clutching with Tomas Jokic. I think they can win 45 games without Jokic this year. They're that good of a team. It's not like great.
I think the West is not as good as you guys say. Then
I think I think it has bottomed out a little bit. The Clippers probably have a big part to do that.
What was Jokic doing in the game up 28?
It was the end of the third quarter.
Yes, I know that.
Shea came out the end of the third
up 30
against Phoenix. Yeah, Shea came out.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? They play.
Some of us.
No, I mean, I'm just thinking you have a long season, you have big aspirations.
Well, they hadn't played in 3 days, and they don't play.
I don't think that extra 3 minutes is really going to gas him out by the end of the season.
They have 6 days off in 7 days. So I think
I'm thinking long term for your franchise. I'm just thinking about Zeke Naji development minutes.
Yeah, facts. Zeke
Naji.
Facts.
Robbing Deron Holmes and Zeke Naji of minutes, man.
He's not riding. He's in the G League. He's actually playing really well. Might get G League MVP.
Not robbing.
Fred Vinson, fan, $5 super chat. We're holding teams to 90 points, but what does Asar, AD, endurance spacing look like? Oh boy,
hell.
Good. It sounds like we're just giving Cade disgusting hoops again. But you guys are just higher on Anthony Davis than I am. I haven't seen the Anthony Davis top 15 player that you guys are talking about, so I don't know.
Not this year. Not this year. By the way, I still have not seen Burners put any money up. I guess the beef is over.
Yeah, he said he cooked me. I think Burners accepted defeat. It's cool.
He just got deep fried.
Yeah, Burners. I have learned people send money at problem. That usually means they lost. Couldn't beat me straight up without money. Drake, $5 super chat. People act like the Mavs need to blow it up. It's crazy to me. We'll be a great team once Kyrie is back. We've already been good with AD. Just wait on it.
Exactly. Wait till Cooper Flag turns 19.
So you almost we'll good. I'll finish them all while you're here. I promise. NK.LDN99, 5 pounds. Mavs topping crunch time games without AD and Kai. Understand both sides, but this defo ain't a bottom feeder team. Agree. They are performing and playing well. Shot riding them hard.
Great defense.
Adam West demanded $5 super chat or $5. What is that, Pin?
That's $5.
$5.
It's just $5. Okay, just want to make sure. Note that. Glad AG is finally getting his recognition. Been trying to tell y'all since last year, but nah, y'all just want to listen to Mars' fake shooter narrative. That is true, but Mars came around. He came around fairly early on in the AG shooting.
Yeah, teams are guarding him like a shooter.
Brother Swiper, just a kind request. I don't think we're going to get through 17 super chats in the 2 minutes that Chill has. So if we, I feel bad because people have actually donated $5, $10, and we're just going to zip through these. I don't think it's fair.
Well, it's. I think we got a little backed up today because we had so many bigger super chats that we had to talk through.
No, I understand. I understand.
So I'm trying to make sure.
But still, we got to give respect to these $5 super chats. I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Never happened on my watch, but you know,
it happens all the time on your watch. By the way, Andre Bowie, 2271 $5 super chat. This teaming up on Swipe because these Nuggets Joker fans getting kind of old. I agree
too, Swiper.
Shout out Mars.
To be fair, what happened was that you got called a Nugget super fan and you pushed back on it. I don't even think that was.
I mean, it's just just that term is.
He's clearly a Nugget super fan too, though. By the way,
no, you're clearly
you a Nugget super fan.
No, call me by my name. Don't call me at all, Chill. That's how I would say.
Sure thing.
Pen, are you a Raptors super fan, Pen?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, we got
I cover everything.
$5 super chat. Edwin _gaming $5 super chat. Mars, shout out Wednesday. Ball don't lie episode. What if number 32 got persecuted?
That is a good word.
Like persecuted legally or like off like?
Yeah, I assume he meant prosecuted, but you know,
prosecuted.
We don't talk about people legal issues. So
I've said to you guys 1,000 times, we found out about this. He was in the league when we found out about this.
we
by
did.
the way, it wasn't like years later we found out about it, like he was retired for. No, he was in the league when we found out about this, and it just went away like it was nothing.
Crazy,
like it was nothing.
Yeah, but Ron Artest does one little thing. My God,
it just
ruined his whole damn career.
Super chat. Drake, another $5 super chat. I just don't think we will get anything worth AD because we all know he's better than he has shown. I would have much rather let it play out. Drake, you sent 4 super chats today for $5. Shout out to you. $20.
We typically never get fair value on a you never get fair value on a star player. Almost never. You're always going to get 75 cents on the dollar, 60 cents on the dollar, 50 cents on the dollar. Can we at least make it a nice 50 cents? Can we make it like a good 58 cents?
Well, wait a minute. Where's that good 50 cent, Penn? Because 50 cent in New York City.
2 high value first round picks.
The Chicago Bulls trade.
Last I checked, only 5 players can play on the court at the same time. And in a playoff series, your best player is playing like 38 to 40 minutes, which means that trading Anthony Davis for 4 rotation pieces don't really help me win championships unless those 4 rotation players are Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and like Christian Brown. Like that ain't happening. So that's all I'm saying. Like you're not going to get fair value. Can we at least get upside? Can we get players that are on our timeline? Can we get high value assets that maybe we could flip them later? Like maybe we don't even use some of these draft picks. Maybe these draft picks become the thing that we use to get Cooper his co-star someday. But we need assets in the bank.
Fair enough.
Disarmo, £5, I believe. At this point, LA should trade for AD if his value is this bad. Bando, Rui, Gabe, Cleveland, Dalton plus.
I thought about them. I thought about them so hard.
Braun, $53 million expiring, and Luka, 80 AR is solid.
This would be amazing. I would pay to have this happen. This would be the best trade in NBA history.
I think
$5 super chat or $17 super chat. W Damo.
17 Danish kroners.
Gauge. That's gauge.
It's called Danish krona.
Okay.
So now
I'm learning. I'm learning new things.
W
Thank you for
Damo.
answering that. Average Joe 1789 $2 super chat. Ironic, we're talking about the Clippers now.
When was that? When
the X marks the spot. Yeah. Average Joe 1789 $2 super chat. Giannis is too low.
What was Giannis on the list?
24. I think I have him at like 19 or 18.
Was SGA on the list?
No, he was not. I think it was an old list. It was pre-summer.
Yeah. First of all, SGA probably shouldn't be on the list right now. Not that high, not right now. But as far as Giannis,
league MVP. Not bad. Hold up, Jordan. He's a former league MVP. He's averaged 30 points per game for 3 straight games. Even this year, I'm sorry, he's better than a lot of names on that list already.
I mean, Uncle Dad, $10 super chat says, "Wake up, dead man, a Knives Out mystery on Netflix." I think that just dropped. Pin. I think is that the new one or the old one? Pin.
I haven't watched.
But yeah, the Knives Out series is good. It's really good. So I appreciate that super chat. $5 super chat unlimited 2.014 $5. If you think the defense is wash or Dennis is slightly better, Pete Dre still clears offensively. Well, I don't think there's any disagreement there. They're offensive player. $5 super chat.
I don't know who has Tubi, but there's this film called Speak No Evil. It is amazing. The Dutch Danish that film, the original one. Now I'm not talking about the remake with James McAvoy. I'm talking about the original. That film is a mind-bending. Like, I was thinking about it for 2 straight days after I watched it. Crazy good.
JMO Fit $5 super chat. What matters is the inches. Trust me, Swiper and Jordan have shrimp, so that's why their dating life is hard. Chill for an old guy, not bad looking. Pause.
Who said my dating life was hard?
No, who said that? But did you miss the first part of that? You said he gauged us based on our look and appearance that they're shrimps. So I'm just like, okay, well, let's give us.
He's talking about inches.
Chill for an old guy,
and he said shrimp.
All right, thank you very much.
What?
I'm not.
I mean,
sure. You understand the context of what he just said?
Why would I care less about what another guy? Why would I care less about what another guy?
Hella out of pocket.
That's kind of weird.
I
agree.
It's
just weird.
Funny.
It's just weird.
That's just a weird thing to super chat, like, you know what I mean?
Right,
but hey,
like, what are you talking about?
But what's your cash app? Where did he send that to? What did it? Drenchman what?
DrenchmanSports@gmail.com.
If you want to know more about Drench, go ahead and you can send that super chat to him directly. Him and Vision have made a lot of money sending to Jordan. So
just send me a good 7,500 and hey.
Finish that A what?
Hey,
Burners.
hey,
Oh
you know.
man, bro. He said, "Hey, bro, like we didn't see that."
Later,
All right,
fellas.
Chill. See you later, brother.
Yes, sir.
Peace, Joe.
See you, Chill.
Hunter _TV $5 super chat. Y'all think it's possible the Nuggets have a 130 offensive rating by the end of the year? End of the year, 130.
They're at
No,
126.2 right now. No.
that's
What did you say it was right now?
Pardon?
How much you say it was right now?
126.2.
on which site?
Basketball Reference.
Oh yeah, it's on the NBA is 124. That's still like that's a lot to get.
Gotta
to
be
130.
garbage time, right? Garbage time excluded.
Yeah, that's quite a lot. And then another super chat we have from Nims Knows Ball. Is Shea a better scorer than Allen Iverson?
Yes.
Quite clearly.
And then we got Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn 8497. Remember for 28 months, Danny Wolf is being compared to Joker. Watch him. Sounds like a pin lane.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Danny Wolf's awesome. P3 actually compared Derek Queen to Nikola Jokic as well as Alperen Şengün. They said a lot of the same athletic testing metrics that made Şengün and Jokic so special for P3 are the same things that make Derek Queen really special.
Shout out. Yeah, that's super chat that me and Jordan were sent just now. Still, it's kind of got me a little flustered a little bit, but interesting. We got Burners. Remember for 7 months, MJ, Milken, Joker, LeBron, 80, the best PR in playoff history. Mikan, best PR in playoff history. Yep, shout. And then Chill Guy here, 1620, became a YouTube member, y'all. So great show today. Penn, Jordan, Damo, Mars, Chill, everybody that was involved. Y'all make sure to lock in and subscribe. We will see y'all on the other side soon. On Monday. Yeah, you send Jordan 7,500. Maybe apparently he'll make something strange happen for a piece of change.
I don't know about that change, but hey, 7,500.